Only Wildcats Radio 1290.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Bear down, Arizona. Your Wildcats are back at home this Saturday to take on Colorado. Kickoffs at 1 p.m. with the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show at 8:30 a.m. live from the U of A Mall. Catch all the action on Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to.
Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
And today, formation. Jefferson hands off. No, keeps it this time. Fakes to Harvey. Runs right side. Ball comes loose. Up with it to the Buffaloes. Going the other direction. And here we go. 35-30, 25-20. And Cameron Sylvan Craig all the way to the house and a fumble recovery of about 92 yards. The quarterback ran it off the right side. The ball popped loose. And number 7 came up with it and returns it all.
And we are not in the CNWT today. We are down on University Boulevard. It is homecoming here at the University of Arizona, and the Colorado Buffaloes are coming to town for this outstanding 1 o'clock kickoff that we're going to have for you on Saturday. Welcome to DK on the Sports Tip. The number to get in on the program today is 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. It is a windy and much cooler Bear Down Friday than we've had here so far this year. I think this is the 4th show that we have done out here because this is the 4th home game. It has been windy all day here in southern Arizona. I mean, just a gustin' is the wind, so hopefully everything stays nailed down to the table today. I've got napkins and leaves and all kinds of things blowing across the road here as we have a festive boulevard for this homecoming Friday. A lot of parents, it looks like, are here for the weekend, walking throughout the district with their kids, and we are just looking forward to a whole lot of fun this weekend. It is an extra busy day here in Tucson. The 44th president of the United States, Barack Obama, is in town. He is going to be speaking over at the Davis Center at the Athletics Complex. In fact, that event, the doors for that event opened at 1:30 this afternoon. It is anticipated that former President Obama will probably take the stage around sometime close to 5 o'clock today, and so a lot of extra activity. Again, if you're coming tonight, there's also a volleyball game tonight that is going to be at the same time that the event at the Davis Center is happening. So I want to let you know about a couple of things to keep in mind if you're coming for the volleyball game tonight. That starts at 6 o'clock. The Arizona Wildcats will be taking on the Houston Cougars, trying to rebound from their heartbreaking loss on Wednesday to the Colorado Buffaloes when they lost in 5 sets. And the Wildcats now falling to 1-5 on the Big 12 campaign. Now, road closures to let you know about. National Championship Drive is closed from 6th Street all the way to Inc. until at least 6 p.m. or later. Inc. Drive is closed in front of McHale Center and does not allow access to the Cherry Avenue garage. So if you normally park in the Cherry Avenue garage, you're probably going to have to come down Cherry from the Speedway side to access that garage today. Now, there is some good news to tell you about. Given these road closures around McHale for this one time, University of Arizona Athletics is offering $4 parking for fans on the Center Mall and the McHale lawn for tonight's. Actually, we have 2 athletic events that are happening tonight. We've got the volleyball game at McHale Center, and we've also got the beginning of the fall softball campaign over at Hillenbrand Stadium. So you've got those 2 events that are happening on campus tonight. I'll get you the start time on the softball game here. Again, volleyball is getting underway at 6 o'clock, and the softball, I believe, gets underway around the same time tonight. That'll be at 5 o'clock. So the volleyball game, softball game against Arizona Western will be at 5 o'clock this evening. That'll be the first of the 5-game fall schedule that the Arizona Wildcats will play this year. So just keep in mind, again, $4 parking on the McHale lawn, as well as $4 parking on the Center Mall for both of those events tonight if you're coming down for either Arizona volleyball or Arizona softball this evening. And, of course, tomorrow morning we'll be on the mall bright and early. 8:30 will be the start time for Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day because we have an early kickoff at 1 o'clock. Temperatures expected to be absolutely gorgeous for mid-November. We're talking 75 degrees. It is nice right now. It is 80. I actually, guys, we always had this bet when I was working in TV because we obviously we would all be out every Friday night for high school football, and we'll let you know what's happening. A couple of really big games happening in Southern Arizona tonight. I'll tell you about those coming up a little bit later. But we used to always have this bet. When would be the first Friday night that you'd have to wear either a sweater or a coat? And I think the farthest we ever got was week 8, which is usually, I think that would be coinciding with next Friday night, would be the first night that you actually would have to put on something like maybe even just like a light pullover or a coat. I brought my light pullover with me tonight just in case I decide to hop over to one of these big games tonight. I don't know if you'll necessarily need the light pullover tonight, but we're starting to get there. It goes quickly here, guys. It goes quickly from 105 to 75.
I don't think every parka and coat is created equal in that, like, some people have thin blood. Some people who come from a warm weather place, may just be like a native Tucsonan who they think it gets in the 50s and you got to pull over something. But others may come from Minnesota or the more Midwestern states, and they're looking for temperatures in the 30s and 40s. But yeah, I think personally, Dragon Ball and I were sitting directly under air conditioning units, so we have.
I was gonna say, we're getting a little cool here in the studio. But not only that, today was supposed to be. There's a lot of chances for rain around town too. So if you brought that pullover, that's not a bad idea to have that, DK. Yeah. You never know when that storm might show up.
That wind you're talking about, DK, did not start now. I mean, that wind about 5 hours ago was blowing dust all over town. Visibility was really low.
Yeah, I mean, it's been blowing. I mean, it was whistling outside my office window a little bit earlier. So it has been heavy winds all day, and you're absolutely right. There are some big clouds, some big cumulus clouds throughout the area. It doesn't look like anything that's potentially got any rain in it right now, though they are a little bit darker to the west So there certainly is that possibility. So it might not hurt to take a little bit of an umbrella with you tonight, depending on if you're going to be out for some high school football across southern Arizona, just in case we do get a few showers this evening. It is a mega sports weekend. It has not gotten off to a good start for the University of Arizona. I mentioned volleyball losing on Wednesday to Colorado 3-2, and then last night soccer absolutely got their butts kicked by Kansas 4-0. I cannot remember too many games like that recently where the Wildcats have just totally been beaten to that extent on the soccer field. And that's a rough loss because it's coming on the heels of soccer losing 1-0 on the road at Houston to a Cougars team that had not won any games in conference play. So the ladies fall overall to 9-5-2, and they are now 4-4-1 in conference play with 2 games remaining. They'll play Kansas State on Sunday. That game has been pushed up. Initially, it was scheduled for 12 noon. It has now been pushed up to 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. So if you've got tickets for the Kansas State U of A soccer game, just keep that in mind. That game will now kick off at 11:30 a.m. And then the season finale, the regular season finale, will be next Friday night, a week from tonight, 7 o'clock up in Tempe, the Territorial Cup Series matchup with the Arizona State Sun Devils. U of A would love to be able to finish this thing out with a couple of wins to finish 6-4-1 and potentially put themselves on the high side of a seed for the Big 12 Conference Tournament, which will be coming up in early November.
You're correct, DK, by the way. 2 goals was the high previous to that game yesterday that the U of A had given up.
Yeah, this season for sure. And even going back a few years, I can't remember too many games where they've lost by 3 or more goals.
You play that passing game and connecting passes to each other, and possession is really what it is. And like the idea behind that is you don't really give too many opportunities or chances. So yeah, 4-0. That's a rare occurrence, DK.
Yeah, 3-0 loss last year. That came at the hands of number 3 Stanford, and then that was on the road. But yeah, that's very unusual to see the Wildcats just not have it. And then 3 of those goals came in the second half, so it was actually a pretty tight game through the first part of it, but got away from Arizona for sure in that second half and down the stretch, and Kansas gets the 4-0 win. We want to talk to you today, especially if you're here for homecoming weekend, what you are most excited about being back in Tucson. If you are an alum of the University of Arizona, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We are at Illegal Pete's, which is on the corner of Tyndall and University Boulevard. Stop on by. Always great drink specials down here, but the best one, $5 Coronas. $5 Coronas down here tonight at Illegal Pete's. So come on by again. We'll be here till 6 o'clock. The parade is happening tonight as well. A full Bear Down Friday experience for you with the parade and pep rally. So come on down. Our appearance, as always, is sponsored by Corona, for fans of the fine life. Corona, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Getting into quite a bit today. We'll talk some Arizona football. We'll get you set on who the Colorado Buffaloes are. You know a lot about Shedeur Sanders. You know a lot about Travis Hunter. We'll dive into Deion Sanders' team. Mark Johnson, the play-by-play man for the Colorado Buffaloes, will join us at 4:20 today. Also, we mentioned volleyball playing tonight at 6. We'll let you hear from Brenna Ginder, the freshman libero for the University of Arizona. We had a chance to speak with her this week. We'll find out about the 2 libero system that the Wildcats have been running this season. First time they've had that in NCAA women's volleyball. So we will hear from Brenna and get her thoughts on all of that. Also, you'll hear from Caden Luke and Montana Lamonius Craig as well. The offensive players had a chance to chat. First chance to really talk to Caden Luke for us since he became a very integral part of the Arizona Wildcats offense in that short yardage set that they deploy out there, and he has just been a very extremely high-caliber blocker for the University of Arizona in that offense when they get into those sets.
I'm kind of shocked, DK.
Yes.
That we are 13 minutes into our first segment, and you haven't mentioned David Fry's name yet. It's kind of shocking to me.
I was trying to wait at least until segment 2, but heck, you brought it up. I mean, an unbelievable Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. You know, I take a lot of flack for talking a lot of Cleveland, and I didn't want to maybe get into it too early in the program.
You're talk about it. Come on. I mean, what did they do? Like, they scored 2 in the bottom of the ninth to send it to extras and then a walk-off? Come on.
Yeah, unbelievable. Down to your last out, and you get a double off the wall from Lane Thomas, who hit the grand slam last week. That helped get you into this situation for a chance to play the Yankees. And then Jean-Kenzie Noel. And I think I've told this story before, but I go to spring training. I try to get up to at least one spring training game every single year. And what I like to do is I like to try to find a young player that I've never heard of and say, okay, I'm going to follow that kid all season long. He's probably going to start in AA or AAA, but I'll follow him and kind of see, who he is and how he does. Well, we went up this year to Peoria. First time I've seen the Tribe play at the Peoria complex was a game against the Mariners. And the player that I chose was Jean-Kenzie Noel. I mean, he started in that game. I'm like, man, who is this big young kid that we've got in the lineup? And we were with some other folks from Cleveland, and the one young lady that had come out that we have a ton of friends that come out every year for spring training, and she's like, yeah, they're really high on him. He's got a lot of, he's probably going to be in AAA most of the year, but they really think that he's going to be a quality hitter. But now we've heard that story before in Cleveland, i.e. Oscar Gonzalez, who the last guy to hit a huge walk-off home run in the postseason a few years ago in Game 3 against the Devil Rays in the wild card round to send the Tribe into the American League Division Series. And everybody thought, oh yeah, Oscar Gonzalez is going to be the next big thing. What happened? He flamed out in 2023, and he was off the roster and on to his next location midway through this year. So awesome what Jean-Kenzie Noel has done and did last night. A lot of upside to that young player, but you never know with these young sluggers if they're going to be able to figure it out and be consistent long term to be effective power hitters in the big leagues, i.e. like guys we've seen named Shohei Ohtani and some of these other cats who have been able to do it year in and year out for a long stretch of time.
It's a good start when you're 6'3", 250.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah. Big Christmas, as we like to say in Northeast Ohio. Jean-Kenzie Noel. Big Christmas. And if you haven't heard the Spanish call on that home run, we're going to let you hear that coming up as well today with a longtime Tribe favorite, Carlos Baerga, in the booth for that game on the local Spanish affiliate in Cleveland. I love you know me, I'm an ex-play-by-play guy. Well, in fact, I hate to call myself an ex-play-by-play guy because I think once you're a play-by-play guy, you're always a play-by-play guy. But I love calls. I love great calls of all languages, and we've given those to you on this show, and we'll let you hear that one coming up as well here a little bit later. All right, right now, though, we want to let you hear from Cricket. She is also going to be coming up at around 4:12 and 5:12 with everything that is happening here in Southern Arizona this weekend. Homecoming weekend here at the University of Arizona. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are reported I-10 eastbound I-10 east of State Route 83, 6th Avenue. At I-10, so Broadway and Craycroft, some backups on southbound Keno as you approach Benson Highway. Also, with Obama in town, there's a rally this afternoon. The U of A and 6th Street, heavy restrictions on 6th Street between Campbell and Highland, probably until about 6 tonight. And for your weather, We've got 73 expected tomorrow, 80 on Sunday. Currently a blowing dust advisory until 5 this afternoon, 78 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Not all sports stations are built the same way. 1290 has Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball, plus the NFL and the Super Bowl. Tucson trusts 1290. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats to the polls. Join Unidos US Action Fund, Next Gen, and SEIU this Saturday at Charro Chico Restaurant from 3:30 to 6:30. Enjoy free food and drinks for the first 200 guests and learn about what's on the ballot this election. Wildcats, let's make our voices heard. See you at Charro Chico Restaurant this Saturday. Paid for by Unidos US Action Fund and UnidosUSActionFund.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Wildcats Radio 1290 and Goldberg and Osborne. The injury lawyers are proud to support the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Your Arizona Wildcats will take on Colorado this Saturday at Arizona Stadium. Get all the info at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Alaskan AC has been keeping people chill since 1972.
Oh, chill. Cool. I get it. It's a theme.
No, it's not.
It's not?
The theme is 72, as in 1972.
Is that why you dress like that?
$72 for an Alaska vacation.
Ooh.
$72 for a service call.
Neat.
Even $72 off any repair.
Whoa.
This month, it's 72, 72, 72 to celebrate 1972, the year Alaskan AC opened its doors.
And everybody was kung fu fighting. Everyone was streaking, too. Let's stick to what we do best.
That's right. A $72 Alaska vacation is the perfect way to prepare for the upcoming season. It's so good, we guarantee no breakdowns.
The $72 service call makes it easy to check any concerns. And saving $72 off any repair means that you can buy one of those cool banana seats for your rad bike. You have a weird definition of cool.
72, 72, 72. This month at AlaskanAC.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790. 800-568-2790 or biglou.com.
At Wildcats Radio 1290, we're not just radio. We're your source in Tucson for digital marketing solutions. We specialize in creating strategic and effective marketing campaigns designed to get results for your business. Whether you want to target a local, regional, or a national audience, we have the right solution for your business. Call the Wildcats Radio 1290 business line at 520-887-1000 and put Cumulus Digital Media to work for you.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Like us on Facebook at Wildcats 1290 for all the latest news on the Arizona Wildcats, including exclusive original content and interviews. This is the exclusive home of Arizona football. Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. What an incredible game and what an incredible win to keep this Guardians dream alive. That was one of the best baseball games you will ever see, actually, especially when you consider the fact the Guardians' entire season was hanging in the balance right there in the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs, 2 strikes, down 2 runs, nobody on base. That was the ultimate pucker time in C-Town, especially after the best closer in baseball, Emmanuel Clase, got touched up not once, but twice for the Yankees to take the lead, only to see the Guardians come back and go deep twice as well. What an incredible finish. Now we have a series. We actually have a winnable series for the Guardians if Class A can once again be Class A. My man, they need you to be that dude. They're not here without that dude, but right now you're not that dude. Football season is heating up, and PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action while watching football. The app is so simple to use. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your money. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, and get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. That's code ROME on PrizePicks to get a $50 credit instantly when you play $5. PrizePicks, run your game. Must be present in certain states where it's lawful to wager. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. It's Super Start Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Super Start batteries. We'll test your old battery for free and recommend the right battery for your vehicle. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Super Start batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
On first down, Jefferson gets away from one and superhuman pick from Travis Hunter. Put the cape on him already.
Ooh, and he just popped a little Heisman.
He might just win the Heisman, Travis Hunter. He is expected to play here tomorrow in the game between the Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes. Injured his shoulder last week in the Buffaloes lost to Colorado State, but all indications is that Travis Hunter will be ready to go tomorrow for what should be a fun matchup between him when he is on defense and Tetro McMillan, the top-flight wide receiver for the Arizona Wildcats. Those are 2 guys that you really want to see.
Desmond Howard?
To do the Heisman? That's the first guy I remember. That's the first guy I remember doing
the Heisman pose,
the pose,
right, and that was like game 10 in the end zone when he almost had it locked up, right?
Yeah.
Because they were number 1 in the
It was during the Ohio State game. I mean, he did it. He did it after scoring against the rival. I mean, it's not right. Yeah. I mean, that's when you do it right there. It might be a little premature to do the pose.
That's why I brought it up, because I'm thinking, like, what happens if you strike that Heisman pose, like game 5, and then you get hurt, or you just don't have success the rest of the season?
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, I've always had this issue with the Desmond Howard Heisman pose, because it's not the actual Heisman pose. He's only on the 1 foot. He's leaning up with the arm out. The Heisman, you got both feet on the ground in that traditional, like, full arm extended stiff arm. I've always wondered, why is it that he's...
My problem with it is Desmond Howard's like 122 pounds soaking wet, so he's not about to stiff arm anybody,
No,
right?
absolutely not. If he did, it's going to be the weakest stiff arm you've seen today.
Oh yeah. But again, it was it's always fun to see those guys, and apparently this is a team that Deion lets them kind of do a lot of what they want to do. They've got a few end zone celebrations that they do when they score, so
it's very social media driven.
Oh yeah. You're definitely going to want to try to keep these guys out of the end zone tomorrow night for sure. So that they don't get to posing and primping and doing whatever else that they want to do on your home field at your homecoming in front of your 250 alums that are going to be here. So again, there's probably pressure every week, but there's a lot in this game for this team, Arizona, having lost 2 in a row. And like we mentioned earlier in the week, if the goal is to get potentially to the conference championship game, then you cannot afford any other losses, because I just don't think 6-3. It could 6-3 in the Big 12 could get you in the conference championship game, but I'd feel a lot better with 7-2 being assured to get in, guys, than 6-3.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. Again, we're still trying to understand everybody trying to get into what would be the Big 12 championship position, simply because there's still a lot of question marks for some of these teams. I think Texas Tech, as good as they've been so far this year, I don't know if they're going to keep holding on when they have to get into the real nitty-gritty of the schedule for them. But there's a lot of squads in here. BYU is the most intriguing one for me. BYU's got a good squad, and if they eventually have to go ahead and go up against Iowa State, which they don't, you have to wonder which one of those teams lasts undefeated longer.
You know what those two teams have in common? Arizona already played them.
Yep.
So, yeah, like DK always says, front-loaded schedule this year. So whatever record you're looking at to try to potentially sneak out of that conference title game, it's the best. The best is ahead. They've already played some of the better teams in the conference. So the schedule's not super stacked moving forward.
520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program, 520-848-1290. I mentioned that there are a number of really big high school football games going on tonight in Southern Arizona. The meeting in Conference 4A is one of them. Canyon del Oro is on the road at Micah Mountain. They have been the two best 4A teams in this region for the last couple of years. CDO emerging ahead of Micah Mountain last year to win the state championship. It appears, though, right now that Micah Mountain a little bit more talented with all the pieces that CDO lost, and so that should be an interesting ball game tonight over in Vail between those two. The other game that will have a lot of eyes on it, and I want to get into South Point Catholic, and that is the Lancers at home against Peoria Liberty. Now, Peoria Liberty is the defending Open Division champion from last year. And South Point Catholic is the only school in Southern Arizona that is currently playing in Conference 6A. And this is the question that I want to ask, and I think I'm going to put this up. I haven't put it up yet, but this may be our question of the day as well, has South Point Catholic lost a little bit of their luster because they're not playing a heavily Southern Arizona schedule anymore? I mean, every time you look up, and again, the Lancers, because they are the only team in the region that is in 6A, the majority of their games are against teams from out of the area. South Point Catholic has played just one game this season against another team from Southern Arizona, and that was week 2 when they lost at Marana. They're in the 6A Central with Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Brophy Prep, and Mountain Point. So this game tonight is not even a region game for them, with there only being 5 teams in that region. But they only play a schedule now that includes one Southern Arizona team. And I thought about this the other day because, you know, normally every high school football season, South Point Catholic is at the top of mind. I mean, especially over the last, 7 to 10 years, you're always thinking about South Point Catholic. Who do they have? Top players. Best team in Southern Arizona. Now, part of that is they got knocked off that pedestal earlier this year by Marana. But I think the other piece to this is they don't play anybody down here anymore. So half the time they're on the road out of Southern Arizona, and the other time they're playing schools like Liberty. Now, unless you really follow high school football, you probably didn't know Liberty was the Open Division champion from last year. But they're playing teams from the Valley that we don't even know. So that's my question is, has South Point Catholic lost a little bit of their luster here in Southern Arizona because they don't play Southern Arizona anymore? Thoughts on that, guys?
Well, my question is, when will there be another 6A team from the Tucson area? Because, I mean, obviously, that's what it's going to take. If you're talking about an in-conference schedule, all the schools they're playing are north of here by 100 miles. Other than that game versus Marana, that's out of conference. Yeah, I mean, I've been around since the 1970s in Tucson, and South Point Catholic has always been on the forefront of a lot of people's minds when it comes to high school football. So they've always been a juggernaut. But I agree with you totally, DK. I mean, if you're not playing against that school you're mentioning, Liberty was founded in 2007, 2008. It's a relatively new school. A lot of people might not know, like you said, that they were the Open champion last year. Not a lot of buzz maybe from that versus some well-known school in Tucson that all of a sudden people are like, oh, remember that great game from the 1990s when those two teams played.
And not to mention, I mean, this is a situation where maybe you're talking about suffering from success. I mean, being able to be a part of that 6A schedule, I mean, that's a lot of success that's come South Point Catholic's way. And when you get to that point where you're starting to outgrow the pond, so to speak, as the big fish in a small pond. Now they have to go ahead and start handling business against the bigger fish in the bigger pond. And there's going to be some setbacks to that. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a situation where they're going to go ahead and get dropped back down right away because of it. But at the same time, they have to get used to this new schedule. And the traveling also, you got to remember, these are high school kids. The travel's probably not that easy, making that many hours back and forth. It's probably not a very fun opportunity for them having to go ahead and worry about getting back home somewhere around 10 o'clock at night.
That's
in some
just super
cases.
Common. I think doesn't matter what school you play for. Having played high school athletics here in Arizona, I can speak to you a lot of van rides and bus rides and fast food and all of that. So yeah, you get pretty used to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and so I'm going to put that up on our Twitter account here, so you'll be able to vote on that very shortly at Wildcats1290. We'll also get it up on our Facebook page, and you can vote on it there. I just got a text from my wife from center field at Progressive Field. She'll be at Game 4 tonight with all her friends. Hopefully she gets to see as entertaining a game as the folks that showed up last night. I don't know if you guys saw. There have been all kinds of videos. People have been there were people at apartment high-rises a mile away from the stadium that filmed the reaction and the crowd noise, the sound when David Fry hit the home run. We'll let you hear it here coming up in the next segment. But just all kinds of awesome videos from around that game last night. One of the best baseball playoff games that I think I've seen in a long time, and I've seen a few of the walk-offs. I think now the Tribe is second all-time, or Jacobs Field second all-time now behind Yankee Stadium for walk-off wins in the postseason. I've seen a few of those. I was there for the first one when Tony Pena hit the ball into the night in the rain of the 13th inning against the Boston Red Sox in 1995, excuse me. I was there for that one. So I've seen a few of those walk-offs in my time, and none better than the one that happened last night to beat the Yankees and keep that ALCS interesting.
Nothing beats a postseason walk-off unless it's a postseason walk-off versus the Red Sox or the Yankees.
Yes, absolutely. Or the Dodgers if you're from the National League side of things.
Unless you're, of course, a Red Sox or Yankees fan, and that's the exception. But most others, those are the teams that have had the most success recently, so you love to beat those teams.
Speaking of the Dodgers, there'll be no clinch party tonight in Queens, at least maybe not yet. It's still early.
Whoa. DK, I know my dad somewhere right now is screaming at you. He's saying right now it's the fourth inning. You can't be talking about the game being over yet.
Don't jinx it, DK.
8-2, the Mets on top in the fourth inning of game number 5, trying to send that series back to Los Angeles. All right, we'll let you hear some of the highlights from last night's ALCS. They were great on both sides. Two of the best play-by-play men in the business. John Sterling, we talked about him earlier in the week for the Yankees, and Tom Hamilton for the Indians.
The Dodgers have the bases loaded, so
oh boy,
when we come back in the break, there will be some comeuppance, some instant
bases loaded. Freddie Freeman at the plate, and you got a new pitcher in Mr. Garrett going in there right now. So again, this is where all of Queens, New York is in a hushed silence right now.
All right, we want to hear from you today as well, 520-848-1290. If you're here for homecoming, let us know what your homecoming haunts are, what bar. I mean, everybody's going to be, the line tonight outside of Dirtbags is probably going to be unbelievable, and it'll be filled with people that are way older than the folks currently in college right now. Cricket
is people with their kids. I think those are actually alumni who have come back to town after a couple of decades, DK, and have kids of their own. That would be my guess.
Yeah, and I also have some tickets down here. Riley's in front of me, and she's holding up some tickets. So if you need tickets to the game tomorrow, I've got some tickets. Maybe I'll give away some tickets in the 5 o'clock hour today. In the 5 o'clock hour, we'll give away some tickets to Arizona and Colorado. We already gave away 4-packs. We'll give away a pair or two here, and I'm also going to tell you how you can get tickets for next week's game against West Virginia. All right, cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. With a political rally scheduled probably until about 6 tonight that's going to feature former President Barack Obama at the U of A. There's going to be very heavy travel restrictions along 6th Street, going to be blocked between Campbell and Highland probably until about 6 or later this evening, and then rolling road closures to the airport after the rally. Collisions that are reported in clearing, Swan and Golf Links, also eastbound I-10 east of State Route 83. 73 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, and currently a blowing dust advisory until 5 this afternoon. It's 78 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by KFC. Introducing new KFC Original Recipe Tenders, made with their secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. These tenders are so flavorful, they'll start a chicken tenders battle. Get 3 tenders, fries, and new comeback sauce for just $5, only at KFC.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
It's like you got one of those 250 horsepower engines.
I think 390, 360.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. What do you got?
It's a Hemi 5.7.
Are you out there street racing?
So here's the headline. Cricket, famous for traffic reports, crashes her car going 115 on Speedway. Probably not the best headline.
There
So,
you go.
yeah.
Right. All right, you're not jumping over anything like
the Dukes of Hazzard,
right?
No, I want to though. It's epic.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Over the years, Lerner Rose helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner Rose is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
At the YMCA, finding your why starts by making an impact together, touching lives for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community through talent without measure. Here, compassion fuels commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and get involved today at ymca.org.
Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We are live at Illegal Pete's. It is Bear Down Friday, and just like we talked about, guys, in the first segment, the dark clouds are starting to roll in, so hopefully we stay dry down here. I've got a young lady here with me who said she needs 2 tickets to see the Wildcats take on the Colorado Buffaloes. Young lady, what is your name and where are you from?
Rebecca, and I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Okay, Rebecca, what year in school are you at U of A, and what are you studying?
Oh, no. I'm here visiting.
Oh, you're here visiting?
Yeah.
You're not one of us?
I'm not.
Okay, so what brings you to Tucson this weekend then?
The game.
The game?
Yeah, the Wildcats are playing the Colorado Buffaloes, and I'm excited. It seems like a good matchup.
There you go.
Yeah, I graduated from UTEP, so we just won our first game. We're like 1-6, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, like I'm on a high right now.
Okay. So did you go to games at UTEP?
Yes, we went. I actually went to the Wednesday game where we won our first game of the season.
Okay, so how many years have you been going to games at UTEP?
Oh, since I was a kid.
Since you were a kid?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I've got the question just for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
3 years ago, there was a player from UTEP that transferred to play here at the University of Arizona, and now that player is on the roster of the San Francisco 49ers. So he played at UTEP, then he played at the U of A, and now he plays for the San Francisco 49ers. Who was that player?
Jacob?
Jacob? What's his last name?
Coward.
All right, there we go.
Jacob Coward, we love you. Thank you, Jacob. Go 49ers.
Jacob Cowing. See, there you go. See, you're smarter than we thought. Look at that. Outstanding. Who are you going to take to the game with you?
My boyfriend.
Okay, so there we go. See, who are all these people? Are all of these people from out of town, or any of you from
We're
there?
all representing El Paso, Texas.
Well, okay, so everybody just came down to hang out for our homecoming. I mean, are you guys like the homecoming crew? You just go to different schools and hang out at other people's campuses?
No, you know what? I'll tell you this. We came last year when Arizona played UTEP.
Okay.
So we had such a good time. We're like, let's do it again.
Oh, there you go.
UTEP did not win, but we had a good time. Our Tucson was amazing, so we're like, yeah, we'll make another trip of it.
All right, so do you have a favorite place down? Obviously, Illegal Pete's. You like this place. Is there any other places that you guys like here in Tucson?
This whole area has been great.
This whole area, University Boulevard? Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Well, thank you for coming down and enjoying our fair city and enjoy the game. And you said you like Colorado. Do you know who the coach for Colorado is?
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders,
Woo!
Man. If I had more tickets,
2 for 2.
If I had more tickets, I'd give you more tickets. But that's
Do you want to know who the quarterback is?
Yes.
How about I quiz you? Who's the quarterback?
Who is the quarterback?
I'll give you a clue.
I think he's the coach's son.
Good.
Shedeur Sanders.
There you go.
There
ding,
you
ding,
go.
Ding, ding,
All right.
And you just
Do I
want
get
a
my
shot.
tickets back?
You just want a shot.
Oh my God, a
What's
shot.
your favorite? Green teas. Let's go.
Well, there you go. After 6 o'clock, we'll definitely do a shot. Rebecca, thank you so much for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Rebecca is going to the game on Saturday. There you go. See, folks, that's how easy it is. Just come on down, be able to answer a question, and you can go see your Arizona Wildcats. Now, next week, here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's how you can get 4 tickets to next week's game against the West Virginia Mountaineers. All right, I need you to go to our Instagram account, Wildcats Radio 1290. That's our Instagram account. And I want you to follow us on Instagram. Follow us on our Instagram account, Wildcats Radio 1290. And then what you need to do is you need to tag 3 of your friends. Tag 3 of your friends on our Instagram account, and you could have a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Arizona Wildcats take on the West Virginia Mountaineers next Saturday. How about that, guys? She came down from UTEP And she got a little help. I won't lie. She got a little help.
I think the solution to the trivia is just make each trivia question designated to whoever the individual is who sits down.
Right.
And hopefully,
Exactly.
the team that the school they graduated from has a player who then transferred to Arizona and then problem solved.
We try. We try. We tried. We did that a couple weeks ago. We did that. You know, the guy sat down here and he was a Notre Dame guy, and we tried to give him a Notre Dame question. Not everybody though knows everything about their school, but Rebecca knew a little bit about their school. But that's what I like about that. That's what's so cool about college athletics, though. I mean, your team goes to somewhere and you go to a game and you have a good time and you're like, hey, let's go back there. Let's go back there and see another game.
I bet you 35% of all the transplants to Tucson within the last 20 years have the exact same story.
Oh, yeah.
They came out here for either a gem show or some event in the fall, and they're like, wow, I didn't know that this place was here. Maybe somewhere down the road we'll relocate. So, yeah, having the story of we came here for homecoming last year because UTEP was involved. We liked it so much we're coming back even though UTEP's not involved. I mean, that's a great story because guess what, DK, where you're at, I mean, university is happening this time of year, and especially the first Bear Down Friday, in a while with the band and everybody coming through. So, yeah, good story.
It's getting a little chilly. The temperature has dropped 6 degrees in the last half hour. It has gone from 80 degrees
those clouds are supposed to be coming in
74 degrees right now with a little. I mean, like I said, I've got my pullover, and I'm about because I can't. Once it gets to 68, that's when I have to. I mean, if it's like gets into the high 60s, I have to put something on because that's when my blood starts to kind of like stop flowing and DK gets cold. So we'll see. It's 74. There's some clouds coming in. Hopefully we'll stay dry here today. But who knows? Who knows? So if you're going to be down here for the parade, make sure you bring. It's rained down here before, not usually this late into the season. Normally that's a September thing or a late August thing. But we could see some rain here tonight. All right, much more coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, but 4 o'clock hour, I should say. But right now, I promised you we'd let you hear some of the dramatic calls from this ALCS game last night. I want to get to those before tonight's game starts, which I believe it starts at about 5:08 our time. I think we get the later tipped, later first pitch tonight, 5:08. But how about David Fry in the 10th inning with a man on? To give Cleveland the win.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to left. There she goes. How about that? A walk-off, 2-run home run to the bleachers and left by David Fry. And the magical 2024 season is not done by any means.
That was Tom Hamilton on the Cleveland Guardians radio network. I mean, this game was unbelievable. It was, again, 1-0 early Yankees. Kyle Manzardo, another rookie, hits a 2-run home run to give the Tribe the 2-1 lead in the third. It was 3-1 in the eighth with a man on. The Guards go to their closer, Emmanuel Clase, who has not been very good in this postseason, and he was not very good. As Jim Rome said, he has not been that guy in the postseason. One on, he was facing Aaron Judge, who had never gotten a hit off of him.
And the 1-2 swung on and drilled to right field. That ball is going to be gone. It was a line drive and it went over the right field fence. It's a Judgian blast. The Yankee dugout goes nuts. They're all on the field. A 2-run home run to tie the game the opposite way. The Judgian blast. And all rise. There comes the Judge.
The Hall of Famer John Sterling on the Yankees radio network. It couldn't get any worse, right? Well, yeah, it could because Giancarlo Stanton was up next.
1-2. Swung on and hit in the air to center field and deep. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Stanton and Judge have hit home runs, a back-to-back and a belly-to-belly. And the Yankees take the lead. Giancarlo non si può stopparlo.
Yeah, Susan Waldman, the analyst on the Yankees broadcast, she knew that was gone. You could hear in the background saying, wow. Oh, exactly. I love that. So it would be, at that point, 4-3. Yankees would get a run in the ninth on some shenanigans. It would be 5-3. We go to the bottom of the ninth. There's 2 outs. Luke Weaver. Remember when Luke Weaver pitched for the Diamondbacks? Luke Weaver. We haven't even talked about that. Luke Weaver allows a double to Lane Thomas off the top of the wall, and then Stephen Vogt goes to his bench to grab a right-handed batter named Jean Kinsey Noel.
John Kinsey Noel's last home run came against Pittsburgh August 30th. No time like the present. 5-3 Yankees. Runner at second, 2 down, 9th inning, and the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hammered. High, deep to left. Away out of here. Bedlam in Cleveland. John Kinsey Noel. Measure job to the bleachers and left. We are tied at 5.
And if you thought that call was good, listen to the Spanish version on the Indians' Spanish broadcast.
El lanzamiento viene al plato. ¡Feliz Navidad! ¡Feliz Navidad! ¡John Kinsey Noel! Acaba de empatar el encuentro en la Navidad en octubre. ¡Qué bárbaro, qué monstruo! Se puso la Navidad y no ha nevado todavía. Lo que cayó fue la explosión que le dijo a ustedes si se envasaban Lane Thomas, algo iba a pasar. La puso chiquitita. John Kinsey Noel gozándose empate este partido. Le dijo a ustedes que esto no se ha acabado. Todavía una gran oportunidad. ¡Qué clase de palo, mi gente!
Rafa Hernandez Brito. I mean, he may become a household name after that call right there. And if you're not familiar with Jean Kinsey Noel, his last name is Noel. His nickname is Big Christmas because he's so big, as David Amata pointed out earlier in the show. Feliz Navidad. That might go down as one of the all-time great Spanish home run calls in the history of postseason baseball right there. Just something for sure. And then David Fry with the home run in the 10th to win it 7-5. And we've got game 4 coming up. Oh, yeah.
Bat flip.
Oh, yeah. Maybe my favorite bat flip I've ever seen. Like the confidence of the bat leaving Fry's hand after that ball left his bat was so perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an absolute blast.
The only one that I could think of that showed as much confidence in, like, oh, I know that ball is out, is obviously the Joey Bats bat flip.
Oh, yeah.
But that's like the only one I could really think so. There was the Wilmer, I think it was the Adrubal Cabrera home run he had when he was with the Mets, where he not only flipped it, he actually tossed it from the belt line at his dugout and just threw it at his teammates after seeing it leave his bat.
Well, there's the two styles. There's like the one-step pause bat flip, like, yep, I just did that. And then there's just what Fry did, was just throwing the bat right at the ground because, hey, you know, he knew the ball was halfway out. And you could tell by the sound, obviously.
Yeah, 2 years after we last saw Luke Weaver in a Snakes uniform, he has now become a kind of a big deal at the age of 30. Never really kind of found his place. He was one of the guys that the Snakes got in the Paul Goldschmidt trade, and a trade that, you know, never for the guys that you gave up. Probably, I don't know if, and we could have that conversation another time if Paul Goldschmidt is a Hall of Famer, but Carson Kelly, Andrew Young, and Luke Weaver all coming back in that trade, and none of them ever really did much for the Snakes. But Luke Weaver now has found himself as a reliever late in the season for the New York Yankees. But he has been tagged now because he gave up a home run in Game 2 in the 9th inning to Ramirez, Jose Ramirez. So he's now giving up 2 home runs in back-to-back ball games. So again, both of these closers not pitching to the height that these teams need them to. Cleveland's going nowhere unless they get Emmanuel Clase back on track. I think the Yankees, though, might be able to survive a downturn from Luke Weaver, but that remains to be seen. All right, Dragon Ball's got everything else that's happening in sports around Southern Arizona and the world.
Wildcats Radio 1290. 2020 Sports.
Whereas Arizona football gets set to take on Colorado tomorrow in their full plethora of usual offensive weapons, including Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn. But it was the man that steers the ship for the Buffs that has Coach Brett Brennan's full attention.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been diving into all of that, and I think the one thing that really makes that team go is Shedeur. You know what I mean? He's an awesome player, and he's really tough, and he's really strong, and you see him break tackles and get out of situations and still find a way to deliver the ball accurately. He's really impressive.
Again, Shedeur currently leads the Big 12 in passing yards, just over 2,000 so far, 6 games into the season. The Cardinals prepare for Monday night against the Chargers. Eyes are on rookie wideout Marvin Harrison Jr. He managed to practice limited on Thursday, but the former Ohio State star still in the league's concussion protocol, wearing that non-contact jersey. Also, starting right tackle Kelvin Beachum sat out Thursday's practice with a hamstring injury. And the League Championship Series has had a number of big bombs hit last night. Both Dodgers and Guardians managed to go ahead and win their contest. Cleveland's in a very dramatic fashion.
Mookie Betts sends a high fly ball to deep left field. Nimmo's going back at the wall. It's gone. Mookie Betts goes deep.
Well, he got a hanger, and he went out and deposited it to left field.
Carries the winning run in Game 3. Fry, deep drive, left field. Fry's watching. It is a walk-off home run. David Fry lights up the Cleveland night.
And again, those series both continuing today. Francisco Lindor told the Mets fans, you still got to believe in a must-win Game 5. Currently up 10-2 over the Dodgers, and the Guardians and Yankees, they get set for their Game 4 in Cleveland at 5:08 today. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With a political rally featuring former President Obama at the U of A until about 6 tonight, going to see some heavy travel restrictions on 6th Street between Campbell and Highland, probably until 6 or after, and then rolling lane closures on the route from the U of A to the airport. Collisions that are reported and clearing at Pima and Craycroft, also at Golf Links and Swan with some westbound slowing. For your weather, 73 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday. Currently a blowing dust warning until 5 this afternoon and a 74. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. It's the Fall into Savings sale event at Big O Tires. Save between $80 and $120 on 4 select in-stock tires with installation purchase. Hurry, sale ends November 3rd. Savings vary by brand. See BigOTires.com for details. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Marco! Polo! Marco! Polo!
In a giant pool of business competitors, don't be the one left unseen.
Nothing due at signing and all taxes and fees included. $273 a month leases the 24 Buick Encore for 36 months. Lease the 24 GMC Terrain for $299 a month for 39 months. Or lease the 24 GMC Sierra 1500 for $488 a month for 24 months. All leases with nothing due at signing and all taxes and fees included. See dealer for details. Leases through GM Financial. OAC mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. Sierra and Enclave OAC plus tax, title license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. G8016, B33476, B33857, G8420. Offers end 10/31/24. Save big now at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the only sports station that brings you the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show, live coverage of his press conferences, and men's basketball play-by-play. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson.
Duh. It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket, getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Mount Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly.
Lanzamiento viene al plato. ¡Batazo! ¡Feliz Navidad! ¡Feliz Navidad! ¡John Kelsey Noel! Acaba de empatar en el cuento la Navidad en octubre. ¡Qué bárbaro! ¡Qué monstruo! Se puso la Navidad y no ha nevado todavía. Lo que cayó fue la explosión que le dije a ustedes si se envasaba Nate Thomas, algo iba a pasar. La puso chiquitita. John Kelsey Noel, 2 Santos empate este partido. Le dije a ustedes que esto no se ha acabado. Todavía una gran oportunidad. ¿Qué clase de palo, mi gente?
The Spanish call of John Kelsey Noel's 2-run home run for the Guardians last night in their 7-5, 10-inning win over the New York Yankees. There's a guy with a Yankee shirt on standing right outside of Illegal Pete's right now. Game number 4 of the ALCS coming up in about 1 hour from now in downtown Cleveland. And the Tribe with a chance to even up that series. Right now, game number 5 in the National League, the Mets leading the Dodgers in another high-scoring affair. There have been a lot of runs in that series. 10-5, the Mets are leading that game. All right, I broke down and put my pullover on because the temperature dropped another 2 degrees to 72. We are seeing some rain around Tucson right now. Picture Rocks, 3 Points getting some rain up around the north. The San Manuel just a little bit east of Oro Valley getting some rain. So we may get some eventually here in downtown Tucson tonight. Pleased to be joined by another member of our team, who is going to be leaving us. This is his last day on the job. Garrett Gillespie out of Marana High School. You've heard his name before. He's been our promotions chief here in terms of a lot of our remotes and stuff.
And Insider.
Our Diamondbacks Insider, as well, as we like to call him, especially last year during the postseason. He's going to be moving on to a government job here in Southern Arizona. Garrett, what's next for you?
What's next? A whole new season in life, man. I'm going into government, something completely different than what I've been doing now. But I'm excited. I'm up for it, ready for a new challenge.
So how'd you find this new opportunity? What about this was attractive to you?
Online. Actually, what's funny is that my mom started as a contract officer, which I'm going to be doing.
Wow, okay.
So she worked in there for a long time, and then she retired about 6-7 years ago or so.
Okay.
And so she knows people
this
in
is
the
one of them
industry.
jobs you can retire young, apparently.
Yeah,
Your
maybe,
mom can't be that old.
Yeah, so who knows? Might make a career out of it. But, it's just a good opportunity. I couldn't pass up. She told me about it, so I went up and signed up. Got 2 interviews in, did well, apparently. So
there you go. What are you going to miss about radio?
All the people.
Yeah.
I'll miss you.
I'll
miss J-Dub,
absolutely.
Dragon Ball. I'll miss my bosses,
Bobby.
Shout them out right now. And the promo crew up to the side here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's kind of
Everyone's been great.
Tell me, we talk about these people and thank them at the end of broadcasts, but kind of give folks an indication of what they do to make these broadcasts when we come down to places like Illegal Pete's and we go out to the high schools to make those broadcasts go.
I mean, they bring it to life. They, offer things to give away. They tell us what's going on in the city, get people excited about what's going on. They do it with a smile on their face and make people's day better.
There you go. Absolutely. And we know you
they
love
hook up David Kelly's mic, too.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about all that, the broadcast setup.
Right. Exactly. We know you love baseball, too. You've been following the postseason. We just played that home run by Jean-Kenzie Noel in the 9th inning last night to tie that game in the ALCS. What a back-and-forth contest that was.
How are you feeling about the series?
I still don't think the Indians have enough pitching to win.
Yeah.
And they definitely can't win and if Clase doesn't get his act together because he's been horrible now in 3 outings. But we were just talking in the last segment about Luke Weaver, who was one of the guys that came over to the Diamondbacks in the Goldschmidt trade and never really panned out here in Arizona. And now all of a sudden, 2 years after leaving the desert, he's found himself a place and a niche in New York as their closer. And it's just sometimes you never know in this game until a guy maybe hits his upper 20s or upper 30s. They finally kind of figure this game out and how to work and manage it.
And the Diamondbacks always seem to be behind. Like every time a pitcher comes through the system, they thrive somewhere else.
Exactly.
Max Scherzer comes to mind right off the bat.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
But good for him.
Well, you brought some cool weather with you here, Garrett.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the tent. The
right?
manager part of me.
Oh,
like,
exactly. See, there you go. It's like you got about 45 minutes until this tent is no longer your concern, right?
Right. Last day of responsibility, and like the tent blows over and smacks somebody in the face. So
at 5:05, if this tent goes flying, that's on somebody else. That's
not on me.
Not on you anymore.
No more.
So is this going to allow you, obviously, this job that we do? It's a lot of hours. It's sometimes a lot of weekends and nights and that kind of thing. This new job, I'm going to imagine, going to give you a chance to maybe have a little bit of a normal life. What are some of the things you're going to look forward to doing now with maybe the new hours you'll have?
Oh man, having Saturdays off for sure.
There you go.
This tent is kind of getting kind of crazy right now. Hopefully start getting more active.
Oh,
I'm planning to do like this brotherhood thing at Ruckus Room. Don't know. Oh, sorry, people listening.
There we go.
This wind's getting crazy.
It's like
blowing things all over the place.
It's like the other couple weeks ago when we were down at Corbett's and that little wind tunnel came through there at the bottom. Things are starting to blow here as the clouds from the west are starting to come in. So we'll kind of keep things going here. If we may have to send it back to the studio there. If we do, you guys will take over. But right now,
I got good news,
this
though.
is my gift.
Cricket just walked in, and Cricket controls the weather.
Oh, that's right. Cricket. What is going on right now? We are about to get blown over down here on University Boulevard.
Yeah, crazy gusts down there, Cricket. They're about to have the tent blow away because the wind's just picking up.
Dangerous.
It could be. They just we've got the crew scrambling to take the speakers off the stands and put them on the grounds because we had a little incident
no
last
better
year.
way to wrap up my last day.
Yeah, exactly. The madness. It wouldn't be a perfect last day if there wasn't some madness involved in it, Garrett, for sure. Cricket, it's Garrett's last day. You've been working with Garrett, I'm sure, for a number of years, and we were just saying how much we're going to miss having him around.
For sure, absolutely.
I'll miss you, Cricket.
Miss you, Garrett. Thank you for helping me with everything that you do.
Absolutely. Thank
There
you for everything.
All right, well, Cricket on Friday, Garrett, tells us about everything that's happening in Southern Arizona, entertainment-wise, because what time is it, Cricket? It's the weekend! Woo!
Well, I couldn't possibly tell you about everything going on around town because it's super busy around Halloween.
It is.
So how about some things for the kids, like the Marana Pumpkin Patch and Farm Fest, Thursdays through Sundays on Trico Road. Boo at the Zoo, Fridays through Sundays at Reed Park Zoo. Also, tonight there is a trick-or-treat event at the Hermitage Cat Shelter. Trick-or-treat extravaganza tonight from 6 to 8. Please bring a donation of unopened cat food. 5278 East 21st Street. And for the grown-ups, these events happen Thursday through Sundays again for the adults, like Terror in the Corn, on Avra Valley Road, Slaughterhouse on Grant, and Nightfall at Old Tucson through October 27th.
All right, Garrett, you have any Halloween parties that you've been invited to yet or that you're going to?
Not yet. I'm
Not
just
yet?
ready to go to Tucson next weekend. I'm heading up to Denver to go see
Oh,
Grandma and
all right.
a good friend.
Denver,
So,
there you go.
that's
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Denver's that's another one of the many places that I've lived in my life. So
I know, and I'm cold now, and I'm like, I better suck it up if I'm going up there. So.
Absolutely. Well, Garrett, again, congratulations. Best of luck to you. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we know that you'll be doing great things with your career as you don't ever be afraid to come back to radio because, as I like to say, you think you're out, but they drag you back in. Good luck, Garrett.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Cricket's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Bilby, west of 6th Avenue, a residential fire reported there. Fire crews will be responding. Collision at Ina and Old Father. Old Father and Ina, some westbound slowing there. Also, some slowdowns at the intersection of Ina and Oracle. So there will be some heavy restrictions on 6th Street between Campbell and Highland, probably until about 6 tonight for that political rally featuring former President Obama. And then when that rally wraps up, there will be rolling lane closures on the route to the airport from the U of A. 73 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday. And currently, as DK said, there is a blowing dust advisory until about 5 this afternoon. And 73 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. It's the Fall into Savings sale event at Big O Tires. Save between $80 and $120 on 4 select in-stock tires with installation purchase. Hurry, sale ends November 3rd. Savings vary by brand. See BigOTires.com for details. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
What makes 1290 different than any other radio station in Tucson? 1290 is the home of the Arizona Wildcats, the NFL, and the Super Bowl. Winner! This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats to the polls. Join Unidos US Action Fund, Next Gen, and SEIU this Saturday at Charro Chico Restaurant from 3:30 to 6:30. Enjoy free food and drinks for the first 200 guests and learn about what's on the ballot this election. Wildcats, let's make our voices heard. See you at Charro Chico Restaurant this Saturday. Paid for by Unidos US Action Fund and UnidosUSActionFund.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end, a big relief for us. But your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now's the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your brakes, batteries, coolant levels, and wiper blades. Those are just a few of the things to help keep your car road trip ready. And when those cooler overnight temperatures finally do arrive, some of you will see your low pressure warning light come on. But don't worry, you can stop by anytime for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if your tire sensor really is a problem, we can fix that too. Mention this ad and get free installation and tire rebalancing with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. Visit jackfurriers.com for even more specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online, call ahead, or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the locals' favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
In a world of chaos and high inflation, where savings are rare,
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
there's only one place that can save you up to 40% off your favorite tobacco products. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. In a quest to unlock the key to savings, Tobacco Barn embarks upon the ultimate adventure to charge no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and to save up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
This is not a joke.
When savings are stolen by the evil of other high-priced tobacco stores, there's only one powerful enough to resist city and state sales taxes, plus save you up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. And if all else fails, we can
Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a Realtor can help answer. Because Realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what Realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, let's talk some Colorado Buffaloes football. Homecoming Saturday here in Tucson. Wildcats see you, Coach Prime and company, in town for the festivities. Pleased to be joined by Mark Johnson, the play-by-play man for the Colorado Buffaloes. We have chatted with him before. Always great to talk to you, Mark. And as we identify this 2024 version of the Buffaloes, I guess the first question is, do you guys throw the ball much?
I know you're asking that facetiously. I'm not even sure if we run the ball ever, to be quite honest with you. But, then again, when you've got, arguably the best quarterback in America in college football and Shedeur Sanders and I was going to say one heck of a wide receiver room, but a number of guys got dinged up last week. I suppose you're probably going to lean on that a little bit. As Prime, in fact, we taped this show on Thursday, and we're on television, and he said to me, I said something about the lack of a running game. He goes, in typical Prime fashion, we throw it pretty well, and so that's what we do. And so, although he knows they got to run a little bit, but I get ready to watch the Buffs tomorrow throw the football around the ballpark, because that's what the Colorado Buffaloes do.
So where has Shedeur taken steps as you've viewed it from last year to this year?
Well, I can't say there's anything that was specifically where he took an enormous step, because he was awful good last year. Guys, he put together one of the greatest quarterbacking seasons in the history of Colorado football, and that's saying something. And he was awful impressive a year ago. I think if there's one area where I really seen him take strides, because he's always been a guy that can make all the throws. He's got good touch on the ball. He's extremely accurate. He's one. In fact, on Thursday I was talking with the offensive coordinator. We chat every week, and he was talking about he's one of the most highest IQ quarterbacks he's ever dealt with. And Pat Shurmur spent many, many, many years in the National Football League, so he does all the things that you want. I think where he's probably taken a step, I think last year he held the ball a little bit because of how bad, things were going offensive line-wise. I think he felt like he had to make a play all the time. And so I don't know if he got rid of the football as quickly as he probably has to. I think he's a little bit better this year at that, although the sack numbers are still way too high. But I think he's made some improvements there. He's always been a very cerebral guy, so he sees it, he diagnoses it, he dissects it very quickly, and you just see a much more mature quarterback, I think, out there for Colorado.
You mentioned the offensive line, and that was obviously one of the big issues last year with this Colorado offense. How has that been shored up, and how are they doing this year?
Well, they went and as Prime normally does, went very heavy into the portal and brought a bunch of new guys in. I think at this point, I think halfway through the season, you can honestly say that there's some mixed results. Like I said, the sack numbers are too high. Last year, they gave up 56 sacks. And I said going into the year, if they could keep that somewhere between 25 and 30, which still wouldn't be a great number, at least it's an improvement. Well, they're just about at that point right now, right around 23 or 24, I think, at this point. And so the sack numbers have been up. But, guys, it's kind of funny. They come in bunches. They had 6 last week against Kansas State. They had, 7 or 8, whatever it was, against Nebraska. So they've had really bad ball games and other ball games where they've actually, I think, probably massaged that a little bit and played a little bit better in that regard. So it's been a mixed bag for that offensive front. I think they're a little bit better on the right side than they are on the left side. And then running the football obviously has been a little bit of a challenge, shall we say, as well. They had a nice stretch.
Jimmy Horn Jr., obviously there was some question that whether or not what his availability might be. Sounds like he's going to be available and ready to go on Saturday. Yep. And I'm really curious about LeJontay Wester because he seems like a guy they really utilize in the red zone to get to score the ball.
Boy, he's been fantastic. He had the game-tying touchdown a few weeks ago against Baylor when they came back and ended up winning it in overtime. And so those three are the primary that you think about with Colorado. Will Shepard, another transfer guy they brought in, has been another guy that's been very good. Terrell Timmons, Omarion Miller, who was here a year ago as a young player, although he won't be playing tomorrow because he ended up breaking his leg late in the game, had 145 yards receiving in that ball game after Travis had gone down. He's one of those guys that because the room is so deep, you're thinking to yourself, boy, he looks like a star. He looks like an NFL-type wide receiver, but it doesn't seem to get the touches because it's such a crowded room. And so, and then Draylon Miller's a young freshman on the other side that they utilize as well. So it's a deep room. Jimmy's going to be back. Travis, we think, is going to be back. Obviously, Omarion Miller will not be, and Terrell Timmons will not be back. And so he's got weapons. But, just to show you what kind of quarterback Shedeur Sanders is, last week you lose 4 of your top roughly 7 or 8 receivers, and he still goes out and throws for 388 yards and was just money in the second half and just doing what he does. And so there's some talent out there on the edges, make no mistake about it, but the guy throwing the ball makes everyone look pretty good too.
Yeah, that's evident, obviously, of a guy who makes his teammates better for sure in Shedeur Sanders. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball and what the Buffaloes have there. 42 tackles for loss and a lot of guys that are involved in that, in getting into the backfield.
Yeah, they lead surprisingly. In fact, I hadn't thought much about that. And there a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that they were right at the top of the Big 12 in that category. Last week, going into the K-State game, they were 1, K-State was 2. So they make plays. And again, it's, as you said, by committee. It's not like they've got one guy who's, got 5 sacks and, 10, 12 tackles for a loss at this point in time. It's a bunch of different guys. And I think that's part and parcel to Robert Livingston's system. The sack numbers are okay. So those tackles for a loss have not resulted in a real high sack number at this point in time. But that defensive front, you asked me about the offensive front having to improve from a year ago. The same could be said on the defensive side of the ball. I think they did a good job of improving that side of the ball. B.J. Green, who has been, was at Arizona State, he has come in. They've run in a couple of pit transfers and a couple of other guys. And that's really kind of short of that defensive front. And they've been pretty solid all season long. The secondary, you knew that was going to be good. I mean, with Travis Hunter back there and DJ McKinney on the other side, and the 2 safeties, Cameron Stillman Craig, who came from Jackson, and then Deion Sanders' son, Shiloh Sanders, you knew that was going to be solid. The linebacking core took a while, guys, and they finally settled. Levante Bentley and the Kai Hill Green have really kind of settled that in those 2 inside linebacker positions. They've really kind of solidified things, and Hill Green has actually become probably the most active player defensively, most productive player defensively. He's been outstanding so far this year.
We're pleased to be joined by Mark Johnson, the play-by-play announcer for the Colorado Buffaloes. It is CU and U of A on homecoming Saturday here in Tucson. Let's dive into Travis Hunter. That's the guy everybody wants to talk about. Well, I'll start here. Do you think he'll win the Heisman Trophy?
I think he should. I'm not certain that he will. And here's why I said, first off, by the way, guys, I like the fact that this year we're talking about 2 guys at the top of the, conversation for the Heisman Trophy, and neither one's a quarterback in the best team in the country. I like it. I've always been bothered by the fact that every year it seems to go to the quarterback in the best team in the country. That doesn't mean he's the best player in America, right? A few years ago, when Ndamukong Suh made a heck of a argument that he should have won. It probably should have that year. He was as dominant as anybody I've ever seen. So this year you've got Genty and you've got Travis Hunter. I thought Travis on a podcast with RG3 the other day made an excellent point where he was asked about it. Obviously, he wants to win the award, and he said, listen, give all full respect to Ashton Genty. He is phenomenal, an amazing football player. But he said, you know what? We've all seen a lot of great running backs through college football. No one's ever seen anybody do what I'm doing right now. And I thought that's a heck of an argument, because right now you think about it, and he is one of the front runners for the Thorpe Award, one of the front runners for the Blindikoff Award. And I'll tell you this, the guy who do games with Gary Barnett, who knows a little bit about football, been around the game a long time, he said to me a few weeks ago on the broadcast, he said, guys, I've been doing this for 55 years, coaching and calling games and all that. And he said, I'm willing to say it now, that's the most impressive college football player I've ever seen. And so that's some pretty high praise right there. And Gary's not the kind of guy that buys into hyperbole, and he won't make those kind of comments unless he believes it. I don't know that, and I've been doing this for 35 years, guys. I've never seen anybody like him, and I've never seen anybody do what he does, playing 130 snaps per ball game and doing it on both sides of the ball. And every time he's out there, offense or defense, he's the best athlete on the field. It's really amazing to watch.
Yeah, I asked Brent Brennan that same question. I kind of pitched it to him as like not even on that level, but has there been a guy that you even in your career just kind of that you guys even thought about playing a few snaps on each side of the ball? And he was like, no, that kid is generational. He's doing it at the level that we've never seen anyone do it. And that's pretty impressive because I was skeptical last year if they could keep it up, if they could keep him up in terms of the dual side playing both ways. But they've been able to do it. Is there a way they manage it?
I'll tell you this. I said to Deion Sanders one day, I said, Prime, how does he compare to you? And he says, at this point, he's better than I was.
Wow.
And guys, that's an awful impressive comment right there. You ask if they manage it. Yeah, they manage it. When the Buffs are on offense, he plays offense. When they're on defense, he plays defense. That's how they manage it. I mean, it's really silly. And then you look back a few games ago, and he played 7 or 8 snaps on special teams. And so, yeah, when the Buffs are on the field, he plays. That's the management style of this whole thing right now.
Do you think, are we going to see that one-on-one matchup between him and Tetairoa McMillan? You think they'll approach it that way, or is that how they've done it this season, where he's always on the best wide receiver?
Primarily, yes. Now, they've got a pretty good guy. There's a guy that transferred in from Oklahoma State named DJ McKinney who plays opposite, Travis. And so, he's going to see some action, right? They're going to throw at him a lot. And he's become a very, very good player. But I would have to think, and I know that Travis, I've heard him talk about it, he likes those kind of matchups. He believes in himself. Guys, from an attitudinal standpoint, he's got a lot of Deion Sanders in him in terms of the bravado and how he believes that he is the best player out there. And so I'll tell you this much. He's certainly not going to shy away from that. And I hope he's fully healthy and can go this weekend. I'm being told he's going to play, and so we'll believe that until we see something otherwise. But I know you guys are the same way, man. That's what we love to see in college football. And so I am so very much looking forward to that matchup between Hunter and McMillan this weekend, because those guys have both played in the NFL for a long time, and I want to see them play at college against each other.
Mark Johnson is the voice of the Colorado Buffaloes. I know you haven't seen everybody, Mark, but just your initial thoughts on this Big 12 and what you're seeing from your standpoint in this, our first year in the conference?
Well, I think, it's a balanced league, I think, in large part at the top. I right now, you look around, and I was surprised as everybody from the way things looked, in the preseason when the prognosticators were telling us what it was going to look like. But BYU looks very, very good. Iowa State looks very, very good. I think right now they're probably, sitting on top of everybody else. K-State, we just saw them. I think they're outstanding, very solid football team, and so I think they're going to be in the mix. I think Colorado can be in the mix. I think there's 5 or 6 teams that have got a shot at this thing. Now, there's not a lot of time left here, and so you can't keep stubbing your toe, but I think it's a wide open league at the top. There's some teams at the bottom I don't know that get much of a shot, but I think it's an interesting league, and I think every game is going to be entertaining. We've had so many games that come down to the end, right? We stole one from Baylor, and K-State steals one from us, and we were talking about in the broadcast on Saturday. This is why we love the Big 12. This is what it is. It's as entertaining as any league in the country.
Mark, hey, we always appreciate the opportunity to chat with you about the Colorado Buffaloes, and have a great call here on Saturday.
All right. Thank you, guys. See you.
Mark Johnson, the voice of the Colorado Buffaloes. Cricket is getting you home on this Bear Down Friday, every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Ina and Old Father collision clearing there. Bilby west of 6th Avenue, that was reported as a residential fire. Expect to see fire crews on scene. Backups Ajo and Mission for westbound and southbound travel. Currently, there is a blowing dust advisory or warning in effect until 5 this afternoon. 73 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, and 73 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Norton 360.
October's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Boost your online security with Norton 360. As PCMag's most awarded security brand, Norton blocked over 219 million threats last year. Stay ahead of cyber threats with Norton 360. Get up to 58% off at norton.com/secure.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
My helmet saved me after they crashed into my motorcycle, but I still couldn't ride for weeks. The insurance company tried hammering me into a quick settlement. No way! I gave them the bird, the eagle, Goldberg and Osborne. Nobody knows Arizona like the eagle. Phoenix to Tucson, Flagstaff to Havasu, and every bit of blacktop in between. Wherever you go, the eagle is there. So if you've been injured, don't wait. Give the insurance company the bird.
Give them the bird. Call the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to support your Arizona Wildcat football team as they continue their season with another home game this Saturday at Arizona Stadium.
This week, your Wildcats take on Colorado. Kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m.
To get your tickets, visit ArizonaWildcats.com or call 621-CATS. For more University of Arizona Wildcat football, including a complete schedule and link to buy tickets online, log on to WildcatsRadio1290.com.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Price is much lower than a grocery store. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Price is much lower than a grocery store. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
NFL Sunday Night Football plays here.
Stroud will line up, takes the snap, drops down to his left knee. That's it.
Here, U of A grad and former Wildcats Radio 1290 host Ryan Radke with the call every Sunday night.
Stroud gets the snap. He's back to pass. Blitz coming. Gets picked up. Throws down the middle. Collins has it. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. Collins in the end zone. Touchdown Texans.
We are Tucson's home for the National Football League. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season, featuring 6 blockbuster productions, including Mamma Mia, and the Southern Arizona premieres of Clue, live on stage, Beetlejuice, Some Like It Hot, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, and Shucked. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the best prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2024-2025 season tickets today.
This is Zach Gelb with Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Former NFL GM Thomas Dimitroff told me that it would take at least 2 first-round picks to get the Raiders to contemplate trading Max Crosby. Lions GM Brad Holmes once worked for Rams GM Les Snead. Holmes should channel his inner Les by saying F those picks to get a deal done with the Raiders, because the Lions have a legitimate chance to win it all, and Holmes should shove all of his poker chips into the middle of the table to go get that Lombardi. I'm Zach Gelb.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, right?
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Your friend want to come
so
on
you've
too?
got an oil change coming up.
You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war.
Maybe.
Whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen
radio. I'm an
warrior
interviewer.
behind.
Of course I'm going to ask you something.
Ever.
And it's live.
Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Welcome back to Homecoming. Welcome back to winter. All of a sudden here down on University Boulevard. When we started the show, it was 82 degrees, and now I think it is down to 69, and people are scrambling. 68. People are scrambling for coats and jackets, and we got an old friend back with us that won some tickets last year. Young lady, what is your name again?
Lauren.
Lauren, good to see you again.
Nice
Lauren
to
used to
meet you
work up the
again.
block here at one of the bars here, but she graduated last year, but back for I thought it was interesting when you walked up to the table during the break. You said you're back for alumni weekend versus homecoming. Now, why you guys call it alumni weekend and not homecoming?
Any excuse to come back, honestly. Even though we graduated in May, it is technically alumni weekend.
Okay.
But they're facing the Buffs, which will be a very good game. I'm from Colorado.
Yes, you are.
So
You are. So are your heartstrings pulling on this one? Or no.
Wildcats all the way. I just appreciate a good football game always.
So, Lauren, what's been going on with you since you left us in the spring after graduating?
Post-grad is hard.
Post-grad life?
It is.
Now, are you in Denver, or where are you at in Colorado?
More Fort Collins.
Fort Collins, all right.
North.
Colorado State, more in that area
Yeah,
there. All right.
up there. And it's definitely new, and I'm just there for a little bit, but saving for grad school. Eventually, more school.
Oh, wow.
If you can add on to it.
All right, so 4 years here wasn't enough. You got to go get a second and third degree,
right? I need to keep having homework, please.
So what's the second degree? What's the master's going to be in? What
Law.
Law.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's time for the bar.
There you go. Nice. So what do you want to do with law? Do you want to be a prosecutor or a defender or work with companies and businesses? And
I mean, corporate law would be the goal.
Okay.
But I'm open to everything.
All right.
I don't want to be narrow-minded when it comes to it.
All right.
And it's just where it takes me.
All right. Did you go down and see your friends at Agave? Do they still welcome you in or no?
Yes. I just saw my managers there. I do miss it, honestly. The atmosphere just like on this street in general is just so bubbly and alive.
Yeah.
I miss it. I do.
All right. You ski? Are you a skier?
Snowboarding.
Yeah. Okay. Where's your favorite place to go? You Aspen or Vail or?
No, I like Breckenridge.
Breckenridge.
Go out there.
All right. How often do you get up there in the wintertime?
Oh, not enough.
Not enough.
I don't buy the pass, but not enough.
Not
honestly.
okay. You don't buy the monthly pass.
No, it's so expensive if you look at it. It's like too much, but you do buy the pass for a bunch of mountains, and you get your money's worth probably. But I don't have the time.
There you go.
Post
All
grad.
right. Outstanding. So when did you get back in town? Today or yesterday? Or?
Yesterday night.
All right. So what have you guys done so far?
We got in late last night at an Airbnb and went out for the night. Had a good time with the girls.
So what was the first place you had to hit coming back?
Gentle Ben's.
Gentle Ben's. Got to go to Ben's.
Gentle Ben's.
There
always.
you go. Did they have a DJ there last night? Or?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Of course.
All right.
It's a good place to be, especially on a Thursday. It's just like I see all the people I used to see, but I don't recognize any of my class anymore because no one's here. But
all right, your friends are shy. They didn't want to come on the radio, so shout out who we're with. Who are you with?
This is shout out to Emily Smith. She's going to be the best occupational therapist in the country.
Emily, the occupational therapist. All right.
Yes. And Paige Poocher.
And Paige?
Paige Poocher.
Okay, Paige Poocher. What is Paige going to be great at?
Paige is going to be great at coding.
Coding? All right.
She codes now.
Nice.
Grad school is treating her nice.
All right. We're in grad school, Paige. Where are you? San Diego
Woo-hoo,
State.
shout out San Diego.
Now, are they both U of A grads too, or no? Are these just
yeah.
friends from Colorado?
This
No,
is
U of A.
We're all U
Go
of A.
Padres. Yeah, that didn't work out very well.
I know. I will cheer for the Mets today.
Oh, the Mets. They're winning right now. Or at least last check they were winning.
Yeah, they were
So that's
up
good.
like
That's good.
at least.
See, I'm a Cleveland fan here, so I got my team
alright.
plays in about a half an hour. So
I'm not proud of the Rockies, so I
no,
don't like to
yeah,
claim them.
it's tough times. Tough times for the Rock. No Rocktober, as they like to say.
Exactly.
Denver this year.
Exactly.
All right, so what's on the agenda for tonight?
Honestly, we might just go have dinner and go home.
Go back to the Airbnb and chill because it's an early day tomorrow.
It
You know, we don't
is.
get too many early days.
It's
this is
a
the
big
first
day
This is the
tomorrow.
first early day. So what's the game day? We got certain tailgates we're hitting
Yes,
tomorrow.
Of course, we have to hit the U of A tailgate always.
Okay.
And then after that, we come here.
Okay.
Or
Are you going
across
to the
the
game
street.
or no?
No.
No, you want to go to the game or no?
I like to watch the game.
Oh,
but I
you
don't
like to watch
be
it.
at the
You don't.
game.
Okay, you're not one of
But
those
I did.
people.
I did use those tickets.
You don't. Yeah, you did.
I
All right.
promise. That was actually one of the few games that I went to because I won those tickets. But I do like to watch the
I
game.
wish I could remember the question I gave you to remember to get those tickets last year, but
No, it was something about the yardage. It was something football related.
Okay.
And I was out of my boots scared because I watch sports, but I don't know like the whole rest of it, like yards,
Right.
touchdowns, all the rest.
Okay.
And you asked that, and I have my friend over in the corner just going.
sounds like Rebecca, who we gave tickets away to in the 3 o'clock hour. Her friends were giving her all kinds of signals over there.
Exactly. Like I'm looking for support, and I'm just like.
Lifelines.
Exactly.
The more lifelines, the better. The
I
more
know.
lifelines, the better.
Use your resources always.
Are you a Beastie Boys fan? Do you remember the Beastie Boys? No? Okay, so the Beastie Boys DJ performed at Ben's a couple of weeks ago after the Red
Really?
Blue game. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Tommy Lloyd is a huge Beastie Boys fan.
Really?
And so they hooked up the DJ that spun for the Beastie Boys for all those years, and he came out here. It was a really cool event, and Tommy was out there doing his thing. I didn't know Tommy could dance like that.
Oh, that's so awesome.
That's why I tell people all the time, you better appreciate this really awesome basketball coach that you have here in Tucson, because he is
Very
an absolute salt of the earth kind of guy. So
No, of course.
Yeah,
he
lots
is,
of fun.
and like that basketball team. I mean, not the biggest football fan, but basketball.
Yeah.
All day, all night.
There you go.
So watching all of them play, and even like the U of A games are so exciting because of like the production they put on.
Right.
Which they do at football games. But
Did you guys get the $5 Coronas? Because you know they have $5 Coronas today.
No.
Yeah,
I did
see,
not
it
know
says
that.
right there on my sheet. Coronas are just $5 on Bear Down Friday.
Bear Down Friday.
So make sure you get a $5 Corona
Emily,
before you get here.
Emily, you hear that?
Because our appearance here is sponsored by Corona. For fans of the fine life, Corona is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. All right, what was your favorite thing about your 4 years here at the University of Arizona, Lauren?
Probably, I mean, education.
Besides winning tickets from me.
Besides winning tickets, it was meeting just my best friends.
Yeah.
I'll know them for life, and
Right.
it's a great environment. And people hate on Tucson, but I'm just like, you gotta know the town
Mhm.
before you judge it, because we have beautiful sunsets, we have a great college town, we have great people, and it's hard. I miss it genuinely. I've only been gone for 4 months. I'm already like.
That is enough time to have a built-up amount of missing for Iridia Place when you're gone for 4 months. That's why we talked to some people earlier. They just came last year for a football game and had so much fun. They decided they don't even go here. They're like, yeah, we just decided to come back and hang out because it was such a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what
it's a
Tucson
great
is
place
all
to
about.
be.
That's what Tucson is all about. Well, Lauren, it was great seeing you again.
Good to meet
Have a
you
great
again.
weekend.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself, and we look forward to seeing you back here every alumni weekend. You can call it alumni
Every few
weekend.
months.
I'll call it homecoming.
Okay. And then like the next homecoming.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Alumni weekend
All
number
right.
2. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren, back here in Southern Arizona. She won some tickets from us last year here at Bear Down Friday. Used to be a bartender here on the block down at the Agave House here on the corner. We are on University Boulevard. Always, see, that's what homecoming is all about. Seeing old friends that we meet during our time here, old friends down on the University Avenue. Great times to be had by all. Always good to see you.
I remember Lauren quite well from last year.
Yeah.
Because she said a bad word
Oh,
on
yes,
the air
that's right.
She was so
She
excited
did.
to win the
I
tickets.
totally forgot about that. I totally forgot. She sent us to the dump button.
That is correct, yeah. But
Lauren.
yeah, no, I mean, I think,
Wait. Lauren, I totally forgot you cussed on the air last year. You cussed on the air. I totally forgot about that. There you go. She was like, I was focused this time, J-Dub. I was focused this time.
she was so, well, no, because you just laid it out. She was nervous because she was getting asked sports questions and it was out of her element. So, yeah, it's natural. It's natural.
Exactly.
But, yeah, having worked on university myself for 10 years, I saw a lot of homecomings, a lot of alumni weekends. Personally, I want to give a shout out. My brother-in-law is in town.
Yes.
He went to U of A Med School. He graduated from U of A Med School 30 years ago, and he's been at UCLA for the past 27 years on staff there in pathology. So he and my sister Laura and their son Zach are in town. And so shout out Peter. He's back in town, too, for Alumni Weekend. So maybe Lauren will come back 29 years from now and have her 30th as well.
Yes, and we just said Steve Walker's in the building here. The beach volleyball coach just walked in. I saw Abdi Abdirahman. Abdi Abdirahman is a Arizona Sports Hall of Famer. We'll talk a little bit more about him. We are at the top of the hour, but Abdi walked by and had a chance to say hello to him. One of the best runners, most decorated runners ever in Arizona cross country and track and field history. Told me that he's going over to coach the national team in Saudi Arabia starting next year. So how cool is that? That Abdi Abdirahman, who was in the Olympics, not this past Olympics, but the Olympics prior in 2021, is going to be coaching the national team in Saudi Arabia. That's so cool to see. Ran at Pima College before he ran at the University of Arizona. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, also ran at Tucson High School as well. So good to see Abdi Abdirahman inducted into the Arizona Athletic Sports Hall of Fame in 2004, and also a Pima County Sports Hall of Famer class of 2019.
So I'm looking at the video with Lauren from last year. It was on October 27th.
Wow.
And it's up on our page,
almost a
so
year
it's
ago.
Still up there, yeah.
There you go, almost a year ago. I'll see J-Dub, he can find stuff very quickly.
It's what I do.
Yep. It is great to be down here. It's a little chilly at the moment. It's a little overcast. It is not raining currently. We've had some wind. It got really windy during our interview with Mark Johnson from the University of Colorado, but the wind has calmed down here for the moment, so hopefully that will hold off. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at last check, the event over at the Davis Center is going right now. Representative or Senate candidate Ruben Gallego was speaking last I checked, and I believe Barack Obama is speaking right now as we speak. He is speaking to a crowd at the Davis Center. I've seen some shots with Arizona Wildcats obviously in the background. Great to have some political heavyweights that we've had here from Barack Obama to J.D. Vance to Donald Trump. All the heavyweights have been coming to Tucson because, again, we are a swing state. And, again, you don't get – I know this is we're in a very polarizing time in terms of our politics. But at the end of the day, our politics is our country. It is the United States of America. And if you love the United States of America, you have to love the process of how we elect our leaders. And you don't get opportunities like this very often. I don't know that I've ever lived anywhere where the heavyweights of the political game have all come to this place where we reside in the course of a 2-month period. So appreciate that. Appreciate if you've had an opportunity to get out and see whoever it is that you support, because you don't get opportunities like this all the time. And we are absolutely privileged to be in a position where we can have these candidates come here to Southern Arizona and put our fabulous city on a national map, and sometimes instances on an international map as well. DK on the Sports Tip. We're coming to you live from Illegal Pete's. Stop on by. Corona's promo team is here. They've got swag. They're buying beers for folks. $5 Coronas. Bring your coat, though. It's gotten a little bit chilly down here. 1 more hour to go before the parade, and the Pride of Arizona will come streaming down the streets to celebrate homecoming weekend. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Dragon Ball has everything you need to know in sports here in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Wildcats Radio 1290. 2020 Sports.
Well, it was a rough day out in Kansas for Arizona soccer. The squad gave up 4 goals in a shutout loss to the Jayhawks. And looking elsewhere for the other teams across the university, you got baseball and softball in action today. The baseball team took on Central Arizona College in their final exhibition game of the season. Softball going against Arizona Western with the first pitch set to go at the top of the hour here at 5. Volleyball also gets set for a contest tonight against Houston. That's at 6 p.m. here in Tucson. And went to overtime for the Suns in their last preseason game that they had against the Lakers. Los Angeles came out showing strong for rookie guard Dalton Knecht. He scored 35 against the Suns to beat Phoenix, but the Suns' full starting 5 was out on the court for the first time this preseason. All 5 starters, Kevin Durant, Tyus Jones, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and the returning Yusuf Nurkic all scored in double figures on the day. In a surprising departure from the world of college men's basketball, Virginia head coach Tony Bennett announced that he will be stepping down from the program as the lead man on the bench. While talking about the reasons why he decided to leave the program, he seemed to hint that the climate of the sport wasn't in a healthy spot and that he found himself struggling with some key pillars to keep himself focused.
And I think about those pillars Carla mentioned in the first 2, humility and passion. Humility means know who you are and have sober judgment. And passion means do not be lukewarm. Be wholehearted in all you do. And I think those are the ones that caused me at this time to look and have sober judgment about where I was at. And that's probably the thing that has choked me up the most, and the hardest thing to say is when I looked at myself and I realized I'm no longer the best coach to lead this program in this current environment. And if you're going to do it, you got to be all in. You got to have everything. And if you do it half-hearted, it's not fair to the university and those young men. So, and looking at it, that's what made me step down.
Again, Bennett will be remembered as a 2-time Associated Press Coach of the Year with the national title to his name in 2019. Bennett seemed to hint that Ron Sanchez will be the one taking over for the Cavaliers this season. And I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 2020 Sports Update.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Along 6th Street between Campbell and Highland, there will be some very heavy travel restrictions until that political rally featuring former President Obama wraps up maybe around 5:30 or 6. Once that rally is complete, there will be very heavy rolling lane closures on the route to the airport from the U of A. Earlier collision at Ina and Old Father. Bilby west of 6th Avenue reported as a residential fire. Backups westbound Ajo at Mission. More slowing. Irvington at I-19. And for your weather, we've got currently a blowing dust advisory. Should wrap up very soon. 73 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, and a 72 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com.
Play social games online for free. Head to ChumbaCasino.com now to join the Chumba fun and experience the thrill of the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Why are we named Wildcats Radio 1290?
You want answers?
Because we outwork everyone else in town to bring you the very best coverage of the Cats. That's why we are the home of the Arizona Wildcats. The one and only Wildcats Radio 1290.
Consider this road dog in college football. I'm Joe Ostrowski here to help you beat the books with BetQL. Arizona State has been a big surprise this season. off to a 5-1 start. This week they travel to Cincinnati, and the Sun Devils are a 4.5-point road dog. The BetQL model likes Arizona State plus 4.5 as a 5-star best bet. I'm Joe Ostrowski. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Families affected by Hurricanes Milton and Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to hurricane relief by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS.
Wildcats to the polls. Join Unidos US Action Fund, Next Gen, and SEIU this Saturday at Charro Chico Restaurant from 3:30 to 6:30. Enjoy free food and drinks for the first 200 guests and learn about what's on the ballot this election. Wildcats, let's make our voices heard. See you at Charro Chico Restaurant this Saturday. Paid for by Unidos US Action Fund and UnidosUSActionFund.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's Football Press Conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season.
About flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly.
Coming to you live from Bear Down Fridays here on University Boulevard. We are at the corner of University and Tyndall at Illegal Pete's. Come on by. The Corona team is here. They've got all kinds of games. I was watching some of the young ladies. In fact, if you want to see the games and some of the merch that they've got down here for Corona, head on over to our Twitter page right now at Wildcats1290. I just posted a video of some young ladies that were playing for some of the prizes. They've got T-shirts, they've got mugs, they've got bracelets and necklaces, and all kinds of great hats, I think, as well. And all you got to do is play a little cornhole. Everybody can play cornhole, right? Just get the sandbag in the hole. That's what it's all about, to be able a chance to win a prize. And we're down here, of course, sponsored by Corona. Corona is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Corona, fans of the fine life, La Vida Más Fina, and all that stuff that Snoop Dogg likes to say. We've got, of course, the Arizona Bowl going to be coming up a little bit later in the year. There's a big luncheon for the Arizona Bowl, which I believe is coming up next Thursday, so that should be fun as well. I was talking to some of the Arizona Bowl people over at the Roadrunners Gala the other night, and they're excited about this year and their relationship with Snoop Dogg. Still have not had a chance to test out any of the gin
I was
and
going to
juices.
say, I was just about to ask, how's your gin and juice survey going these days?
It's not going at all at the moment. There's a young lady with a New York Yankees blazer on there, so everybody's getting ready for the game down here. We got a couple people. There's a guy standing right outside. He's got his Yankees hat on. I haven't seen a whole lot of folks representing my colors, but I'm sure there are a few out here. Yeah, my gin and juice sampling. I've mentioned that to my wife last week. I was like, we got to get that going, and we got to tape ourselves doing it and put that out there, but it has not happened quite just yet. Homecoming weekend, it's going to be the most Ring of Honor. Did you see this list, guys? The most Ring of Honor recipients in the history of Arizona football are going to be back on campus tomorrow. Trung candidate Tony Bowie, who I'm told will be making an appearance on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day show coming up tomorrow. Byron Evans is going to be there. Ortiz Jenkins, Chuck Levy, Earl Mitchell, recently retired NFL defensive lineman. Brandon Manamani Luna is going to be in the house. Chris McAllister, who Dwayne Aquina absolutely raves about at every opportunity, will be back this weekend.
I feel like you just named off all of Kelvin Efon's best friends.
Exactly, right? That's a pretty good. Ortiz and Trung and Brandon and Chris. That was all late 90s Desert Swarm. Interesting, though, that I think all those guys were offensive players. I mean, that was the era of defense, but yet all those Ring of Honor guys are offensive players. They took advantage of that great defense that they got. Brooks Reed will be back, the Sabino High grad. Scooby Wright will be here. Max Zendejas. Now we're getting back into the Glenn Howe era, as well as Bruce Hill. We had Bruce Hill on last season. Twice he came. He was on at Homecoming last year when he was in town. It was awesome to get a chance to talk to Bruce Hill last year. Of course, Khalil Tate is going to be the honorary captain. Randy Robbins will also be back. He is an Arizona Sports Hall of Famer, Denver Bronco. So just a few of the names that will be back this week for Hall of Fame weekend. It's going to be a whole lot of fun here on campus. It's gotten right now. The former president of the United States is speaking over at the Davis Center. Watching a little bit of that video right now. The crowd is hyped behind Barack Obama. There is a volleyball game tonight at 6 o'clock. So again, $4 parking if you weren't with us earlier, because there's a lot of the streets around the Davis Center are shut down because of this event that's happening there in conjunction with the Kamala Harris and Tim Walz campaign. That event should be shutting down around, or at least around 6 o'clock. They're anticipating that they'll begin to open up the streets around Cherry Garage, but you're being asked if you're going to park in Cherry Garage to enter from the Cherry side of that. And also they're offering $4 parking on the U of A Mall, as well as the McHale Lawn if you are attending either that game or the softball game tonight, the first fall softball game. So some different opportunities out there in terms of the parking, because there's a lot going on around the complex here in the campus for this homecoming weekend. Barack Obama is just wrapping up his remarks on campus. Go ahead, J-Dub.
I was just going to say, speaking of all the alumni and famous former football players, I want to really quick bring back something to spark that memory. Remember Lamont Hunley last year for the Territorial Cup?
Yes.
The message that he had? Okay, here's that. It's just about 30 seconds, but here's that message for all the alumni coming back into town.
My message would be for them is to, get your memories. It's that simple. Get your memories. Those memories will stay with you for the rest of your life. So I tell you to go out there and just gather your memories, do something positive on that field, and make sure you got those memories implanted inside of you, where at the end of the game, the scoreboard is in your favor. Because if it's not, that's going to be in your belly for a long time. So make sure the memories are in your positive way and create your own, because, we old folks, we got ours.
And we got a bunch of old folks coming back to town, DK, to share memories with each other, right?
Absolutely. Get your memories. I remember when Lamont said that, for sure. Good stuff there from Lamont Hunley. We appreciate him joining us when he does as one of our Arizona insiders every couple of weeks here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All right. There's more than homecoming happening here in Southern Arizona this weekend, and we will bring back Cricket. Is Cricket with us?
Yes.
Cricket, what is happening? What's up with this weekend here in Southern Arizona?
Well, Pop Night tonight. DJ Bex is spinning the pop hits from like Britney to Madonna to Sabrina Carpenter, and it's late tonight, so it's not for us.
Late.
It's from midnight to 2 a.m. Yeah, midnight to 2 a.m. at Hotel Congress. And if maybe Pop Nights ain't your thing,
what do you mean that's not for us? You can't stay up late?
I'm saying, listen, well, you stay up as late as you want.
We can't. We got an early morning tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have an early game.
Yeah, we do.
You guys should not be out at midnight. And maybe if you want to go out a little earlier tonight, there's Club Country. If Pop ain't your thing, you can put on your boots, do some two-stepping with DJ Do tonight, 9 p.m. till 2 a.m. at Club Congress. And all the fun Halloween stuff like Marana Pumpkin Patch and Farm Fest. You've got, of course, on Trico Road, Boo at the Zoo at Reed Park Zoo, and also Terror in the Corn, Slaughterhouse, and Nightfall at Old Tucson.
Now, you didn't.
Can I add one?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, DK, is the first of our good friends at Silent Adventures Silent Disco Tour. Starts tomorrow for their fall schedule as well.
Ooh.
And what is do we know what the theme is for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's theme is early 2000s throwback, but it's
throwback.
Every Saturday from now on. Now the temperature's gone down a little bit.
That means our armor is not very strong if we're just throwing back to the early 2000s.
Well, I think 20 years, right? 20
yes,
years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Now, yep.
I just saw a gentleman walk by with a Carly Cisneros shirt on, probably going to the volleyball game tonight. That might be one of her relatives. How about 19 kills? She had 19 kills in that game the other night. That match the other night, Wednesday night. A freshman. I mean, again, they're struggling. They're 1-5, but man, you like this young nucleus of freshmen they've got on this roster, and I would think that might lead to good things. For her to have 19 kills this early in her career, that's pretty impressive.
Very, very impressive. I mean, she's been one of the main go-to for the volleyball team this season, and again, they got that game tonight, so hopefully, if that person is looking out to go to a volleyball game, you got about 45 minutes still to go ahead and get there before the first serve.
Probably walk too. Don't drive.
Yeah, don't drive down.
It's
going to be a little crazy, and you probably won't get there in time.
Take rideshare. This will be a good weekend, maybe to rideshare.
True.
Let somebody else do the driving and the navigating, and you just get out and walk a few feet to get to your destination. Rumors that MC Hammer is going to be in town this weekend. You know, he's got the connection with running backs coach Alonzo Carter, who used to be one of his backup dancers. So we'll be looking for Hammer at the tailgate tomorrow. Maybe
I want to know what Hammer thinks about this Sacramento-Las Vegas situation.
Yeah,
considering where he came from, right?
Big Oakland
A's ball boy.
Former Oakland
A's.
Yeah,
he was a ball boy for the A's, wasn't he?
Yeah, former bat boy
yeah.
for the A's, exactly. So it's amazing, just all the connections in sports and music and how they come across the board. But great stuff there. All right, Cricket, you have a great weekend. And right now she's going to get you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. 6th Street, heavy blockage along 6th Street between Campbell and Highland, maybe until 5:30 or 6 or so tonight. That political rally at the U of A. And then once that rally wraps up, there will be heavy rolling restrictions on the route to the airport from the U of A. Got some backups, Oracle at McGee, Ina and Oracle. Also westbound Ahaway at Mission is busy. 73 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, and about 71 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Download the Lowe's app to get your home improvement playbook in your hands so you can get their team's expertise anytime. Download the Lowe's app to find what you need today.
The very best in play-by-play is on Tucson's best sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the home of the Wildcats and NFL play-by-play. This is the one and only Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end, a big relief for us. But your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now's the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your brakes, batteries, coolant levels, and wiper blades. Those are just a few of the things to help keep your car road trip ready. And when those cooler overnight temperatures finally do arrive, some of you will see your low pressure warning light come on. But don't worry, you can stop by anytime for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if your tire sensor really is a problem, we can fix that too. Mention this ad and get free installation and tire rebalancing with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. Visit jackfurriers.com for even more specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online. Call ahead or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local's favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Alaskan AC has been keeping people chill since 1972.
Oh, chill. Cool. I get it. It's a theme.
No, it's not.
It's not?
The theme is 72, as in 1972.
Is that why you dress like that?
$72 for an Alaska vacation.
Ooh.
$72 for a service call.
Neat.
Even $72 off any repair.
Whoa.
This month, it's 72, 72, 72 to celebrate 1972, the year Alaskan AC opened its doors.
And everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everyone was streaking, too. Let's stick to what we do best.
That's right. A $72 Alaska vacation is the perfect way to prepare for the upcoming season. It's so good, we guarantee no breakdowns.
The $72 service call makes it easy to check any concerns.
And saving $72 off any repair means that you can buy one of those cool banana seats for your rad bike.
You have a weird definition of cool.
72, 72, 72. This month at AlaskanAC.com.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to support your Arizona Wildcat football team as they continue their season with another home game this Saturday at Arizona Stadium.
This week, your Wildcats take on Colorado. Kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m.
To get your tickets, visit ArizonaWildcats.com or call 621-CATS. For more University of Arizona Wildcat football, including a complete schedule and link to buy tickets online, log on to WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Stay informed on all the latest news from McHale Center and Arizona men's basketball by following us on Twitter at Wildcats1290. When news breaks from Tommy Lloyd's team, we will bring it to you on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. All eyes on Minnesota for tonight's Game 4 of the WNBA Finals. Sabrina Ionescu's iconic go-ahead three-pointer on Wednesday gave the Liberty a commanding 2-1 series lead. While New York is trying to clinch its first title in franchise history, the Lynx are hoping to push the series to a decisive Game 5 in Brooklyn. Minnesota will have to bounce back after blowing a 15-point lead at home in Game 3, but if they win the next 2 games, they will capture a 5th title for their franchise. It would be the most in WNBA history. Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve and her squad will have to fight to keep their season alive tonight.
It's important that you don't get too high when you win and too low when you lose, and it's really hard. It's really, really hard, but we got to dust ourselves off and get another crack at it here at home with our tremendous fans.
Game 4 of the WNBA Finals tips off at 8 o'clock Eastern. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. I've not checked the text groove yet today, but I will do that. It is homecoming weekend here. The Wildcats taking on the Colorado Buffaloes tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 8:30 in the morning. It is so, guys. At the top of the show, I said, my circulation starts to get wacky around 67. Well, that's what it is right now. It is 67, so my circulation, I can already feel my fingers starting to numb up on me. It is going to be.
To buy you a shot? Because that'll help out.
It is going to be in the 50s. The 50s tomorrow morning, I think, when we start the show on the mall. I'm seeing temperatures around 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, around 58 degrees. So I may have to have like a full-on coat on tomorrow morning.
You need like an Arctic Explorer parka, one of those kind of deals with all the fur on the neck.
Woo! I mean, that's like, again, how quickly things change here in southern Arizona. Just in the last, since we sat down here at 2:30, it's gone from crazy to, or nice to crazy. So lots of folks are starting to align the streets to our right, which is Tyndall, leading to the stage where the pep rally will be. Right now, let's hear from the offensive players. We got a chance to hear from Caden Luke this week and Montana Lamonius Careg. Obviously, Montana, a former player at the University of Colorado. He played there before coming to Arizona last year. This is his second season with the Wildcats. And Caden Luke, a graduate of Canyon del Oro High School, the state champions in Conference 4A last year. He helped lead them to that. He is a preferred walk-on here at the University of Arizona, and he already has carved out a role for himself as a walk-on in Arizona's short yardage package, a package that at times has had some success this year, at times has struggled to get that 1 or 2 yards that they need to get, but for the most part, outside of, obviously, we talked about a mistake that Caden made in the game against Texas Tech when in a 4th and 1, he went the wrong direction, and the Wildcats could not convert the 4th down. For the most part, though, he has been fabulous in that blocking role, and he's even gotten to carry the ball a couple of times for the Arizona Wildcats in the last 2 ball games. Caden talked this week, along with Montana, about this homecoming game against Colorado.
Kind of what brought me here is I'm a local kid. I don't know if you guys know that I'm a local kid. I'm from Tucson, so I've always grew up kind of looking to come here, and that was always my dream and my goal. Since I've been here, I've just been grateful to have been given this opportunity to go out there and show these people what I could do. So.
A lot of kids from Tucson, they want to play at Arizona, but to play at Arizona as a freshman, what do you attribute that to?
Probably just my parents always taught me the value of hard work, extra work. During the summer I was up till I couldn't even tell you what time, studying plays, doing all my stuff, but other than that, just hard work.
Montana, the past game last season was clicking on all cylinders for the most part. This year, things have been kind of up and down, hit or miss. What do you think you guys need to do to kind of get back to that level of consistency that you had a year ago?
I would say, make it easier on our quarterback, help him out as much as we can, and, just keep working together, keep communicating, keep talking. Can never, for me, over-communicate. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing we can do to just keep producing and keep moving in the right direction in terms of the pass game with the offense.
As receivers, what can you do to make things easier for Noah?
Give them a clear picture, make sure we're on the same page, And like I said, just over-communicate. You know, with the new technology on the sideline now, you're able to come off the sideline after a drive and see what the defense is doing right then and there to be able to make an in-game correction. So, you know, that's big. So just along the lines of things like that, just helping them out.
Katie, what was your expectation in terms of playing time and all that before you got there?
I didn't expect to play not one snap. I didn't expect nothing from nobody. I just went out there and tried to prove who I was.
Montana, did this game have any extra meaning at all for you?
I mean, I would say, you know, I am an alumni from the University of Colorado, so I graduated there. So, I mean, you know, it's always going to be a bit more personal, just knowing that's, you know, who gave me a shot coming out of high school. But, I mean, it's still business at the end of the day. So my goal is to go out there and help my team accomplish the goal, and that's winning the football game. So whatever that means I have to do and whatever my role is going to be in that game, I'm ready to take it head on.
Montana, what was that experience like last year going into Boulder and getting a win? And also, you know, what was that matchup like with Travis Hunter?
I mean, Boulder's a special place, so I mean the experience was nice, you know. But like I said, it was a business trip, so I didn't really make it too much more than that. So going in there and getting a win was good, you know. And then I would say the matchup with Travis Hunter, you know, I'm gonna treat that like any other matchup I would with any other corner. So, you know, watch tape, watch film, see what tendencies he likes to do and what he doesn't like going up against, and then, you know, go off of that.
The Big Red nickname, where did that start here? Who gave it to you? How did that happen?
I've been called Red my whole life just because the red hair. My grandma's got red hair, so I think that kind of just started at home. But once I got here, Coach Zoe Coach Zoe, I think, started it. He said it once or twice, and then everybody just took on, and here it is. Yeah, I love it. Yep.
Montana, what do you think about Caden's game?
Big Red, fullback Red. So, you know, big, strong guy. That's where the big part comes from. And then, like he said, the red hair. So, I mean, I think it goes well.
So, fullback, kind of a dying breed. How do you just look at the position and how effective you can be, even though the position's kind of in danger now?
Yeah, I know it's a dying breed. I know there's not a lot left, but I kind of just go out there and try to do my job to the fullest, and I just try and bring it back. I mean, it's been a while since I didn't really get to block that much in high school, but so I've kind of been learning all this stuff and trying to apply it to the game and let us win. That's it.
Was that a difficult transition? Because I talked to Coach Peace at CDO, and he said he wasn't as much of a blocker as he is now. So what was that transition like for you?
It was super easy. I mean, wrestling actually probably relates more to it than anything I've done, just because wrestling's a lot of hands, a lot of head, feet positioning, leverage, and that's exactly what blocking is. You block with your feet, not your head, so I guess that's it, yep.
Montana, you guys are putting up yardage, you're getting in the other side of the field, and then it kind of slows down in the red zone. Do you feel like you're right on the edge, the offense is right on the edge of being successful?
For sure. I feel like, you know, every time we're one detail away, one play away. So, I mean, it's just how great can we execute and how consistently can we do it. And then once we have, you know, we have the ability to do it. So it's just more so figuring it out, just correcting the little minor details that may be halting our drives, and then we'll be head on from there.
Montana, Coach Atkins was saying that, like, when Caden contacts somebody in practice, it makes like a certain sound, like a different sound than when other people maybe collide with each other. Have you heard that, experienced that?
I mean, I can say Caden does, you know, have the pads popping a good amount of the time. So I would say, yeah, you know, there is a good impact there.
Montana, going up against, you know, your own water and all of that stuff, is there anything that you're telling kind of the newer guys like Caden what to expect going up against a Colorado defense?
I mean, I wouldn't say nothing like specifically to expect, but just know, you know, they're going to play hard like any other team. They want to win just like we do, so we can't take them lightly, and we can't, you know, get all caught up into any outside sources. We need to go in there with a laser focus and play our game.
Kaden, what's your favorite memory at Arizona?
Here?
Yeah, like as a fan,
Yep.
like what game do you remember going to?
I remember watching the Oregon game with Marcus Mariota as a little kid and kind of just being like, wow. I want to play there. So I remember, I think that was the year of Scooby Wright. I think that was the game. I don't remember if it was us or them. It was a while back. Somebody grabbed a pick out of bounds and they threw it back in and somebody caught it. Yeah, I think it was that game. So I think that was probably my fondest memory as a fan.
And then, of course, you know, the running back room has experienced some adversity. How have you guys been able to handle that? And what's the mindset moving forward without some of those guys?
I mean, Coach Zoe gets us right every day, so does Coach Stu, but I think we just got to come together as a whole. I mean, some of the guys are out or not playing, but they're still there. We're still coming together, and they're still helping us out on the field and in the film room. So I think we just attack every day just like every other day, even though some of those guys are out. So.
Montana, Coach B was talking about this idea that the record is the same as it was last year, and then the team went on a run, and you have a lot of football ahead of you. How are you kind of viewing that situation and approaching the second half of this season?
There's still a lot of football left to play, you know. Last year's last year. Yes, the record was the same, but, you know, we have to go out there and win those games. So I'm not really too fond on seeing all the way down the line. I'm more so in the sense of taking it game by game and knowing that, you know, we have to go out there and execute week in and week out to be able to have that same run.
Montana, how would you describe Deion Sanders as a coach and personality?
Great human being, you know, high motor guy, you know, really nice coach. So, I mean, he's a good dude. He's going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not, and, you know, stand up guy. So, you know, other than that, nothing.
Game to sell out. It's homecoming, afternoon game, which is unusual. What are your guys' expectations for Saturday?
I expect it just to be like every other game. I know there's a lot of hype around this. Game's sold out. It's going to be packed, a lot of people. So I try to stay out of it as much as I can and just focus on the game. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all that matters is just going out there and playing with the brothers and getting it done. So, I mean, we just got to go out there and do our thing. Like he said, we got a lot of talent on that field, so we just got to come together and click. You can never over-communicate, like he said, so.
I would say, you know, it's going to be a beautiful day, you know, amazing fans in the stands. So just looking forward to come out here and playing our brand of football, getting back to what we know we can do and what we're supposed to do. So other than that, you know, looking forward to Saturday.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, that is Montana Lemonious Craig and Caden Luke. I like how Caden said at the top of that when he was asked how he got here. He's like, well, you know, I'm from here. I went to high school here. It's like, of course we know you.
Did you guys know I'm from here?
Well, I thought it was just a way interesting, like, I mean, I don't know that I would have phrased the question the way that it was phrased to him, like, because we all know he's from here and how he got here. I think we know that part of the story, so it was kind of an awkward start to that anyway. But yeah, I wasn't there, so I guess I can't talk.
His name is prefaced by native Tucsonan.
So, oh, yeah.
Native Tucsonan Caden Luke. Like, that's what we've always known him as.
Yeah, the bulldozer, for sure. Caden Luke.
Fullbacks represent.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right, we've got one more segment from Bear Down Fridays. We're getting you set for the parade and the pep rally. Also, volleyball playing tonight. Softball has started their fall game. That started at 5. Volleyball at 6 against the Houston Cougars. The Barack Obama Press event has wrapped up over at the Davis Center, so that should be at least beginning to clear out from that part of the evening, and then we'll be able to get. I think I'm not sure was the bonfire, was that last night or is that tonight? Do you guys know whether that was last night, the bonfire, or that camp? I never remember if it's Thursday or Friday here in Tucson, but we'll get that information.
The bonfire will be tonight at 7 to 8:30.
Okay, well, actually, it'll be perfect then because it's a little chilly out here. You might want to go to the bonfire tonight after all and warm up a little bit. All right, we got Scott out here. He's putting his hands together trying to get some fire going right there. All right, it is DK on the Sports Tip. Much more straight ahead. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some heavy restrictions along 6th Street between Highland and Campbell, and that is due to that earlier political rally that wrapped up. There's going to be some really heavy rolling lane closures on the route to the airport from the U of A, and right now spotted some pretty heavy backups on southbound Campbell as you approach 6th Street. And for your weather, 73 tomorrow, about 80 predicted on Sunday, and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
They've locked the door. You cannot get into McHale Center now. A safety move by the university.
The stories we talk about the athletes who met each other and then eventually got married because all of the weight training used to be done in McHale.
Do we feel bad for the football players? They don't have that interaction anymore?
Just to clarify, you're asking if we feel bad for football players maybe not be able to get dates easily? Is that the question? Because I don't think that's a problem. I don't think it's a problem at all.
No,
we're in the era of NIL, DK.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Alaskan AC has been keeping people chill since 1972.
Oh, chill. Cool. I get it. It's a theme.
No, it's not.
It's not?
The theme is 72, as in 1972.
Is that why you dress like that?
$72 for an Alaska vacation.
Ooh.
$72 for a service call.
Neat.
Even $72 off any repair.
Whoa.
This month, it's 72, 72, 72 to celebrate 1972, the year Alaskan AC opened its doors.
And everybody was kung fu fighting.
Everyone was streaking, too. Let's stick to what we do best.
That's right. A $72 Alaska vacation is the perfect way to prepare for the upcoming season. It's so good, we guarantee no breakdowns.
The $72 service call makes it easy to check any concerns.
And saving $72 off any repair means that you can buy one of those cool banana seats for your rad bike.
You have a weird definition of cool.
72, 72, 72. This month at AlaskanAC.com.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Families affected by Hurricanes Milton and Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to hurricane relief by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS.
Wildcats to the polls. Join Unidos US Action Fund, Next Gen, and SEIU this Saturday at Charro Chico Restaurant from 3:30 to 6:30. Enjoy free food and drinks for the first 200 guests and learn about what's on the ballot this election. Wildcats, let's make our voices heard. See you at Charro Chico Restaurant this Saturday. Paid for by Unidos US Action Fund and UnidosUSActionFund.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text CUT to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful Fed incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text CUT to 321-321. That's CUT to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. 3 weeks ago, Alabama smacked Georgia in the first half, then had an underwhelming second half against the Dogs, but still won the game. However, Alabama then proceeded to lose to Vanderbilt and barely took care of South Carolina last week. On Saturday, Kalen DeBoer's Crimson Tide must make a statement against Tennessee, and I'll trust the best player on the field in the freshman wide receiver Ryan Williams to lead the Tide to victory. I'm Zach Gelb.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
We are back out here at Bear Down Friday, and we got a little impromptu performance. The band, they normally march down, but they just kind of came strolling down the street in front of Gentle Ben's and started playing, and now they're walking across the street. I don't know if they're going to come to this side and maybe play a little bit in front of. Looks like they're going to maybe walk a little bit past us towards down the street. Nope, they're going to play right here, so we're going to get a little bit more right here. We'll let you hear some of the Pride of Arizona because it looks like they're going to line up right here in front of Illegal Pete's here and start playing here momentarily. So a little bit of an impromptu pep rally.
They heard Lauren was passing shots out.
Huh?
Lauren passing out the shots.
Wait, who's passing out shots?
Lauren, she said she'd buy shots for everybody.
Lauren, yeah, maybe. You know, she's got the pull. She's got the pull down here. So, all right, so they're gonna start playing, and we'll let you hear. I'm gonna shut up and let you hear them. There you go, the Pride of Arizona. I mean, they are just, I think they're going to be on the move here. They're just going down to all the different locations here on the block and playing some tunes today. I love it. It's homecoming.
Do either of you guys know that song?
That song, I know I've heard it. I don't know that I know the name of it. No.
So that song and that album came out when I was a freshman at the U of A in 1994. It's The Offspring. They're Come Out and Play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Keep Them Separated. Yeah.
That's right.
I know that
Come
song.
Out and Play was the album. Keep Them Separated is the song, yeah.
Yeah, I know that song. I do know that song. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, yes, so there we go. Where are they headed now? They're headed down back towards campus. So that was kind of cool. They went, like I said, they were over at Gentle Ben's in that area, and then they came over to Illegal Pete's to entertain us for a little bit. So we'll have the pep rally coming up for you here shortly. Here at Tyndall and Tyndall and University, and bring a coat because it is 63 degrees now, guys. 60.
That's 5 degrees past your threshold.
63 degrees. Yikes! It is. It's way past my threshold. Way past
now,
my
if
threshold.
it's way past the threshold, but what is the sky looking like? Is it about to open up over you right now?
I just looked. I was just outside north of here in Marana. It looks like it's actually a storm system forming, but where DK's at, it doesn't really look too bad.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, it's gray, but it's been gray for a little while, so I don't know if it's about to rain. I'll have to pull up the radar before we get out of here. But I do want to get to our BetQL 5-star plays here real quick. How about Dragon Ball wasn't here last night. We had another winner last night. The prop play on the Thursday night game was Bo Nix over 217.5 yards passing and rushing combined. He finished with 239 total yards last night. He had 75 on the ground and 164 through the air. Bo's kind of showed that he can be a little bit of a dual threat quarterback so far this year, guys.
Well, thank goodness for that, because throwing the football, the man's not accurate. He's managed to pull off something last night that I thought I would never see.
Yeah, that's right.
He managed to overthrow a receiver and underthrow a receiver on the same play at the same time.
Yeah,
I know the guy's got a lot of college football experience, and we like to joke about it a lot, but it's just he has struggled with his touch so far being in the NFL, going for his first professional season. And let's be honest, if it were Derek Carr against the Saints, that would be going for the Saints. It would be a much different offense than what the Saints provided on Thursday, because Spencer Rattler also looked like he was very unprepared for his first professional start in the NFL.
He looked horrible. I thought didn't he start last week, or this was his? Oh, he came in last week, but he didn't.
He came
start
in,
last
and then
week.
but this was his first official start.
He looked terrible. I don't know. I mean, Spencer Rattler, obviously an Arizona kid up at Phoenix, Pinnacle High School. I don't know that I've ever been a huge fan of his. I think, I don't know. I didn't like the way he operated his way out of Oklahoma and went to South Carolina. But hey, the kid's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of moxie, but he's got a long way to go to try to be an NFL quarterback after what I saw last night. So a good prop win there. Another win for us in the ledger. 217.5 yards passing, rushing combined, and Bo Nix hits that. All right, 6 plays for you on football. 3 college, 3 NFL. How about this one? Early game tomorrow in Cincinnati. Arizona State an underdog, a road dog. The BetQL 5-star play is take the Devils and the 4.5. I like that. I like the Devils on the road tomorrow.
I think the Devils got a good shot to go ahead.
I don't like the Devils. End of sentence.
End of sentence.
End of sentence.
But
right.
I think they've got a good shot to win that game on the road. As much as we are remiss to say that they should, but they've got a good shot.
All right, Vanderbilt is playing out of the SEC tomorrow, minus 25.5 over Ball State. That is one of our plays. Also, Oregon on the road at Purdue. This looks a little risky to me based on the fact that Purdue did show they could score some points last week. But Oregon minus 27.5 on the road over Purdue. Would you take that one?
You know what? If it's on the road is it on the road at Purdue or in Eugene?
I thought it was a road game, but I could be wrong on that. I'll double check that real quick.
Okay, because if Oregon's making that trip out to Purdue,
it is.
I don't like those chances.
They're playing. That game is actually right now. That's one of the 2 Friday night games, and they're already.
You might want to change your opinion because they're up 14-0 currently at the end of the first quarter.
At the end of the first quarter.
All right, well, I changed my opinion.
I really like the Ducks in that game, guys. I really like the Ducks.
They got a good shot of covering the spread. They got a good shot.
Big 12 is the other game tonight. Oklahoma State. This is going to be to keep an eye on. Oklahoma State at BYU, 13th ranked BYU at home. Can they keep things rolling against Oklahoma State and hand the Cowboys a 4th straight Big 12 loss? So we'll see how that works out. All right, quickly, 3 NFL plays. We got the Vikings and the Lions taking. That's the marquee game of the weekend. They're saying they're saying the under in this game, under 50.5.
Both squads have shown that they've got good offenses. I mean, the Vikings have been a pretty methodical offense throughout the season with Sam Darnold surprising a lot of people. And let's be honest, the Lions like to mess around with people. I mean, they had offensive tackles lined up as split ends against the Cowboys yesterday when they gave them that shellacking in Dallas this last week.
Everybody's messing with the Cowboys.
Everybody's messing with the Cowboys this season. But Detroit has a lot of offensive creativity. They've done a lot of trick plays, and they've gone into a lot of the deep, deep corners of the bag of offensive tricks that they have out there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this game go into the 50s.
Yeah, that's why I would take the over, not the under on that one. Browns-Bengals over 41.5. Now, I might take the under on that one, the way those two teams have played offensively, but the play there is over 41.5.
I would say take the under in that also. This is a big one, too. This could be Joe Burrow's best chance to get his first win in Cleveland in his NFL career. Never won in Cleveland, apparently, up to this point.
And then our final play is Bills-Titans. Take the over in that game at 40.5. Bills home against the Titans. That sounds like a pretty good play. I think the Bills will put up some points there. The question is,
the question
is, will the Titans score any points?
Well, the question is also going to be how many times does Josh Allen look to Amari Cooper in his first real contest with a number one receiver since the departure of Stephon Diggs? And the other part of it is the Titans defense going to be as good as they've been? Surprisingly enough, DK, the Titans defense is actually pretty stout this season. Somehow they're the side of the ball that's keeping Tennessee in some of these games, if it not be for the turnover happiness that Will Levis tends to play with so far as a starter in Tennessee.
All right. Do we have a short replay we can give them? Should we give them John Kenzie in Spanish one more time, or do we have something else?
I've already got it ready to go, DK.
Well, let's do it.
Now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
El lanzamiento viene al plato, lanzamiento viene ¡Feliz Navidad! ¡Feliz Navidad! ¡John Kenzie Noel! Acaba de empatar el encuentro la Navidad en octubre. ¡Qué bárbaro! ¡Qué monstruo! Se puso la Navidad y no ha nevado todavía. Lo que cayó fue la explosión que le dijo a ustedes si se envasaba Nate Thomas, algo iba a pasar. La puso chiquitita. John Kenzie Noel gozándose empate este partido. Le dijo a ustedes que esto no se ha acabado. Todavía hay una gran oportunidad. ¡Qué clase de palo, mi gente!
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best
DK,
bet.
you think maybe he should just dye his beard white and just go with the full
Just
embrace it?
Exactly. Big Christmas with a big silver beard. I love it. I love it. Paul in Phoenix lastly says, if it's going to be so cold, DK, on the mall tomorrow, you might want to bring a little bottle of brandy with you. I might have to do just that. That's going to wrap up our show from Illegal Pete's here, sponsored by Corona. Appreciate Corona for being our partner down here every Friday. The pep rally's about to start. For all the people that were a part of this show, J-Dub, Cricket, Dragon Ball back in studio. We had Scott Giulietta, Riley Chanel, Bobby Garrett, all the folks out here. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you 8:30 in the morning from the mall. Homecoming Saturday, Arizona and Colorado. Bear down, Arizona.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. And sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet.
All right, brother,
a collision that occurred on the westbound side of I-10 near the Ajo-Kino connection